Yo, what's up, YouTube? And welcome back to the channel. And I thank all of you guys for being here today. Thank you, Miz. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Classified, for joining me on this wonderful Tuesday. We're just here to talk Giants. Giants are coming off a victory, 25-3 over the Carolina Panthers. And how is everybody's day going today?
Good.
It's going well, man. It's better when we win.
Over the Carolina Panthers. And how is everybody's day going today?
Well, somebody's got it playing.
Perfecto. Sad news though. I'm gonna let Miz break the news. We lost one of our players. He got injured. Let's talk about it, Miz.
It's nothing briefly. We just lost one of our key guys, a fan favorite, I would say, in Peppers. So it's sort of a blow, but it's
Man,
not
how the narrative changes.
Bro, I'll let Adam take over. Adam was talking about listening to Carl Banks, which I'm sure we all do. I hold Carl Banks as one of the highest guys. I find him to keep it real, but at the same time, he bleeds for the team. So go ahead, Adam.
I mean, I love Carl Banks, and he came out and was talking about, a few things. First, let's get into the tanking situation, and I'll get into Gettleman because that's what everybody really wants to talk about. So
Sorry, I missed the call, Logan.
Carl Banks came on and was saying,
what up, Steve?
How he got people on Twitter blowing him up because, they want us to lose and tank and get a draft pick. I am against that. Okay, I don't believe in it. If you're getting paid millions of dollars, you don't deserve to tank. You want to tank in high school? Great, but I never tanked in high school. Our team went 0-10. I was out there playing every game. I didn't want to lose. No one wants to lose football games or anything, right? So if you have any ounce of fight in you, you don't want to lose. And on Sunday, while you're at the game, you saw it. A lot of things happened at the game they're good, right? So for me, just keep winning, keep playing. Let's see what they can do. As for the Gettleman thing, look, okay, I'm a guy who, if this season sucks, which it still could go that way, you got to fire the man. Now, I'm not going to say he hasn't done well in picking players, okay? But on this stream, we were hitting tables for him to draft an O-lineman, okay? Sitting there saying this guy can't do anything because he didn't hit an O-lineman. Now, all of a sudden, we win a game and change the narrative, and now we want to bring the whole damn thing back. So you're either on one side of the fence or you're on the other. I'm on the side of the fence where if we don't make the playoffs, he got to go, okay? Regardless of the improvement that we make, I don't agree with Carl in this regard.
Steve said hi, Miz.
He's been here 4 years.
Sorry, Adam.
He's done
what
he's done.
Steve, my brother from Los Angeles.
And while he, has won a lot of games, has brought in some players that we like, Azeez Ojulari, the linebacker he brought in, McKinney, right? A few other guys, Peppers, and the list goes on. He's also brought in booty-ass players, such as Patrick Omameh. I mean, we are still reaping the reward of Nate Solder, okay? He traded a guy named Josh Johnson, and we got cut today, okay? So he traded valuable assets away to get a guy named Josh Johnson made on the team. Now, again, he's not only his decision, and I'm not just saying that he doesn't deserve credit where credit is due. What I'm saying is, if the season tanks and if they run it back, they better not start 1-5. I swear to God, if they start 1-5 next year, and I don't want to talk about next year because we're still into this year, but let's take hypotheticals. If you want to bring him back and he starts 1-5, I don't want to hear at the end of the year, well, if they improve, we run it back another time, because that's how we keep losing. And that's all I got to say about that.
I have to agree on you. As much as it sucks because us as Giants fans, we have this notion that that we're gonna get better, which we are, but then once 1 week we feel like it's the end of the world, and then we come out and we put a performance like this on, and then we're like, okay, wait, there's hope. Even the same for Daniel Jones. The minute we're claiming him a franchise quarterback, he comes out, throws 3 interceptions. Now I get it. He didn't have really a good O-line that game, but still, some of those interceptions was on him. And then he comes out and he plays the game like this. So it's so confusing as Giants fans. And yes, I'm fighting with myself as a Giants fan. Red Gettleman. It's like, it's not fair to judge the coaches or the GM when our players wasn't executing. They can teach all they want, but if they're not executing on the field, we're not going to win games. And what I've seen from the Carolina game is I've seen effort. And are we gonna see? Was it a fluke? Was it just for just this game, or are we
Hey,
gonna
Rick.
have it for the rest of the season? And that's why it's too. For me, I'm gonna say based on yesterday, I want to see how we stack up against the Chiefs, even if Mahomes is in or Mahomes is out. I'm mainly seeing on how our defense plays against the Chiefs, no matter who's at quarterback, to see if they come out with that fire that they did with the Carolina Panthers.
Yo, Zion, I have a
They
quick
play like
thing.
they played this past week. Go ahead.
The Titans.
Zion, remember on my last podcast episode where you were saying Zion Williams isn't worth $22 million? Well, guess what? He's playing as the best defensive tackle in football right now.
Yeah, and
Just
when I got
because-
to go look, Murph, his
Just because
tackles
he
for
gets
loss, he
paid
got
$20
4 or
million
5
doesn't mean
sacks in
he's
the
worth $20 million.
season. Yeah, and I would even say that too. It's like I wanna say like, yo, he's doing a good job,
He's balling out.
but he is balling out. But it just sucks when when you have so much problems around him. And am I gonna apologize for saying he's not worth $21 million? No, but I can say that he's playing good football, and I shouldn't have dissed him how hard I could diss him. So that's why I put on a 99 jersey today because he deserves that. Let's get it.
My favorite
No,
player
I-
on the team.
like it.
And my favorite play on defense is Azeez Ojulari.
Bruh, whatever.
I say Leo's getting paid a lot, but once again,
He's-
man, and it kind of went unnoticed. But you're starting to you can't ignore it. He's having another big solid year. He's on pace for 11 sacks. He has a lot of tackles, and I believe he's one of the reasons why Azeez is having such a good early rookie year. And once
He's
again,
playing-
Leo's
that's
having
what
a big
Logan
season,
said.
man. Yeah.
He's
I'm gonna let
playing
you
as
go,
the
Logan.
yeah.
But that's what Logan said. He said sometimes Zion, you can't just look at the stats, and I totally agree because he opens, even though he may not get there, his pressure disrupts. You know what I'm saying? I'll let you go, Logan.
Rick, I understand where you're coming from, my guy, but he's playing as the best defensive tackle in football right now. He's playing.
And no.
Yeah, he is. Look at the stats.
Wait.
No.
Are you gonna put him over Aaron Donald?
Wait,
He's
BPS,
playing-
I don't want to hear what you
I'm not.
He's no.
I don't
BPS.
even- I'm not
He's
even
playing
talking
better than
about
Aaron
Aaron.
Donald right now.
I'm not even talking about
I don't know
Look at
about that one.
Look at the
Javon-
stats. He's got more sacks.
No, okay, Javon
Big
Hargrave
play,
is
big
in
play.
the
I
best-
don't want to
You
hear
know,
it.
you gotta
One
relax.
time.
You can't just look at the stats, man. Aaron Donald is on a mountain of his own. I mean,
Javon
I never
Hargrave
said he
is
was
the
better
reason
than
why
Aaron
on
Donald.
defense
Getting
this
praised.
entire year.
The reason he's not getting praised
I don't know. I can't
is 'cause he's on the
understand
Giants
anybody.
right now. And
Yeah,
nobody in
100
the media
times.
likes the Giants.
All right.
Nobody.
Yeah.
The Giants, like I said, could cure fucking AIDS, and they would still be a bad fucking team. Okay, Leonard Williams won't get the recognition he deserved. Was he even in the Pro Bowl last year? They didn't even vote him in the Pro Bowl last year. I don't even know if he was in the top 100. So if
Yeah,
he
it was.
ends up, was he in the Pro Bowl?
He was
I
in
know,
the
top
top
100.
100.
He actually got snubbed.
Okay,
for the Pro
I didn't
Bowl.
get to see him.
Not snubbed.
Yeah, he got snubbed.
But the point is, with the Pro Bowl, you want all pros anyway. The Pro Bowl.
Nah, I love that comment, but Slay got his
Train
he got some
Cooper.
points.
Leonard Williams,
He's a
he
Lions
does
fan.
again.
Slay's one of those better Eagles fans. I have to say that.
Watch your Packers soak. Come on, I don't.
Slay, you a Lions fan? We know that already.
No.
Yeah,
But-
let me ask you a question. Let me
Ruben,
ask you a
guys,
question.
How many
guys.
tackles does Leonard Williams have?
The most by any defensive tackle in the NFL, my guy. Look at
Which
it.
is how much? Can you tell
all
me
right,
how
take
much?
it easy
I
here.
want to know how much.
It's 39.
Yeah,
39
Logan,
tackles.
calm down.
39 tackles. I'm not gonna
Okay,
calm down,
BPS.
bro. I'm tired of the hate.
What's your
No,
And
let
how
him
much-
have it, Logan.
Okay,
Hey,
and
Logan.
let me tell
Let-
you how
Logan,
much.
let
me
the
tell
hate
you how
flow.
much Javon Hargrave has. Can I
Let
tell
the
you
hate
how much
flow.
Javon Hargrave has?
Go, Slay.
When is Javon Hargrave coming up?
Nobody cares about Javon Hargrave.
Because you said he said that Leonard Williams is the best. He's been playing like the best defensive tackle in football.
I think
which is not true
I think
at all.
he meant to say,
Javon
I think he
Hargrave
meant to
Big
say
is great.
one of the best. There you go. He
Okay,
meant to say
okay,
one of
okay.
the
One
How
of
about
them.
this?
Hold
How
on,
about
I'm
this?
gonna
Big
get
play.
tied up.
Big
Okay,
play.
let's praise Javon Hargraves because we haven't praised an Eagle. I'm sorry. Okay, who cares about Javon Hargraves? Nobody.
I'm not trying
You
to
can-
act
hold on,
like
hold
The
on.
one
Everybody
time the
stop, everybody
Giants
stop.
won, we still get mad.
Everybody stop talking real fast. If we can please, just one at a time, because the viewers have a hard time listening
Yeah.
to everybody talk at the same time. So I love it. We're off victory. I love it. Everybody's emotions is running high. I love it. but let's just calm down a bit and let's just treat this a little bit more professional. I
Nick
love
said
you
get
all.
some
and
Xanax
thank
for
you
this
all for
kid.
being here.
This
And
is
thank you,
what?
Steve.
entertainment.
Let's just put at this: Aaron Donald is the best player.
Real quick, did I ever say did the words Leonard Williams is better than Aaron Donald ever come out of my mouth?
In a way, you said he's the best.
I said
yes
he's
and no.
playing like it. I said he's playing
Which
like
isn't true. He's playing.
If
like
you
it,
look
but
at
it's
the
not.
stats, yes, he is. And I don't want to hear Javon Hargrave come out of your mouth.
Well,
Yeah, let's
And I'm gonna say
let-
it again, Javon Hargrave.
let's turn it over to Joel. Joel,
Yeah.
how are you coming off of this victory? We won 25-3 over the Carolina Panthers. I love it that you got your nice swag on today. How are you feeling?
I'm going to be a guy that's going to sit here and I've been saying roll it back for quite a while. Okay, let's look at the scenario we're sitting in right now as the New York Giants. Yeah, we're not playing good football.
Mm-hmm.
The coaches can only do so much. But with all this coming at Dave Gettleman, we feel like we have a future. We feel like we have players on this team finally. We saw production finally. Second-year coach, okay, and we're treating him like he's been here 4 or 5 years.
True.
You know, Gettleman has been here a while, but you got to remember what he came in with. And Adam brought up the Nate Solder contract, okay? I just want to know who else was out there better than Nate Solder at the time in free agency, knowing that we needed a left tackle that year. Even though we haven't addressed it in a while, but this team has been very needy of other positions as well. We've needed help and depth across this whole team because it wasn't there because Reese killed them. All I'm doing is asking a question. Who was better out there than Solder?
Nate Solder was the best lineman coming out in free agent. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, we
the
all
reason
kind of
we
like
got Nate Solder is because we couldn't land Andrew Norwell. Okay, that's why we got Nate Solder.
I
So
see
right.
you,
you
Ash.
have
I'm gonna
to
get to you in a
overpay
bit, and I just
players
need to fix my
because
screen.
that's
Yes.
what this league is. And what people
Yes.
don't understand is that you're always going to overpay for
yes.
you're overpaying for the thought of the production that they're supposed to bring. Okay,
You
that's
pay
what people need to know.
A
You're
money
overpaying.
talent. Yes.
Right. But you can't control who's on the free agency list, okay? Because
Right.
other teams are going to keep their left tackles if they're good. Nate Solder was the best of the bargain basement shopping bin, okay? So you got to pay what's out there,
Right.
You know, but we cannot not say that he hasn't done well here for that contract.
Yeah.
See, my biggest
What we talking about, fellas? Are we still talking
You're
about
right.
the fire Gettleman thing?
But you know,
No, they're just hating on Leonard Williams.
but we've got really good contracts that we can get out of and get
that's
cap
one
money.
thing,
We're set up.
That's
All right,
one
well,
thing
listen.
I love hate, Joel. It's he did so much good for us, but yet there's so much that needs to be fixed. And yes, Pat, to answer your question, we're talking
What's up,
about
Bash?
Gettleman, and I'm
What's
just
up, man?
sick of us Giants. The way
Love that
he
jacket,
plays,
ass,
it's
man.
like 1 week you think it's the end of the world, and then they come out and they have a victory like this again,
Well-
and we're back on. Like it's so confusing at times. And I'll let you
But
guys
Do
go.
you guys
We're
want to hear
always-
my opinion about it? Or?
We're always bringing up the
Yes, we
OBJ
do.
thing. Let's look at the OBJ thing from the Cleveland side. Cleveland's are hating that OBJ trade because he's not healthy and he's never there to, what we say about Barkley, availability's the best ability. So is that GM's getting shit on for that trade? I mean, come on, guys. GM's hit and miss all the time.
The Odell thing's not working because Baker just can't. They just don't have.
Yeah, but
No, I
still,
don't know,
I'm
man.
just
I'm
telling you
watching
what
the other night,
Cleveland's
man.
saying.
So
Odell
you
looks like
guys,
he lost
you
his
guys
stomach
want to
the other
hear
night.
a whole Gettleman thing about what
Well,
he
fast,
done?
Pat.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Pat, go ahead.
we talked about Peppers earlier, and we're gonna bring that up in conversation now that we have my people here. But Pat, the floor is yours, and yeah, we'd love to hear your opinion.
All right, Dave Gettleman's been here since 2018, right, Adam?
Yes, sir.
He's been here since 2018. So let's go through his draft picks. He's
And
brought
free
us Daniel. He's brought us Daniel Jones. He's brought us Dexter Lawrence. He drafted DeAndre Baker. He drafted Jimenez. He drafted Carter. He drafted Shane Lemieux, Andrew Thomas, Hurt, Tay Crowder, Cam Brown, Carter Coughlin, Slayton, Aziz, Tony,
Corey Ballantyne.
Thank you, Sunday.
Corey Ballantyne, Julian Love.
Yeah, I don't care about Corey Ballantyne. Don't even bring that up.
Corey
He
Ballantyne,
drafted him, though.
Julian Love, and the rest of the guys that we picked this year. So he's brought us Azeez Ojulari. Looks like a number one defensive end in the making. Just give him time. He's a rookie, but he's probably the best defensive end we have right now. He brought us Dexter Lawrence. You can say what you want to say about Dexter Lawrence. He's a key piece to our defense. He brought us Leonard Williams, who's actually having a better year than Aaron Donald right now, if you look at the stats.
Yep. Xavier McKinney.
Might be having the best year for any.
And Logan, I agree with you. I don't know why you're going on with them.
Look, he picked up Xavier McKinney. Probably our best safety right now.
Our only safety right now.
He brought us. Who's playing better than him at safety right now?
No, that's why we're like our only safety right now. He was making a joke about it. Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't making fun of what you said. I was making fun
You can't disrespect Peppers like that. Even
Absolutely, that's what it was. I agree with Adam.
He made a trade that brought us Peppers. You can say what you want to say about Peppers, but he's probably the heart and soul of our defense, and we just lost him to the turf monster.
No, we lost the heart and soul of our defense to Minnesota.
That's true. He brought us.
Everybody loved Bradbury. Everybody loved
James
Martinez.
Bradbury and Martinez. Say what you want to say, Bradbury. He's not having the same season that he had last year, but he's been picking it up lately.
He's got 3 interceptions. That's what he had last year, so he's on pace to.
Still good.
Right.
He brought us Martinez. He brought us Martinez. Everybody was happy with him before he tore his ACL.
He also brought us Tony.
Yeah, he brought us.
That.
He's brought us Aziz.
And just real quick to piggyback off of Pat, let's look at how, a first-round draft is a 50-50 prospect. A second-round pick is what, 20%? A third round is like 14%. A fourth round is like 8% of a chance of being, star or a good player.
Okay, so now let's look at his later round draft picks. He brought us Darius Slayton. He's a 5th-round pick. He's pretty decent to be a 5th-round pick.
Yep.
We can't grade Slayton like he was a 1st-round pick just because he was all that we had. He was a 5th-round pick, and he actually turned out to be a half decent receiver. Can actually be a contributor to this team.
Mm-hmm.
He brought us Cam Brown, who's a captain on special teams, and is a special teams monster.
Yep.
You got to give him credit for that. He brought us
Carter Coughlin.
Yeah, he brought us Tay Crowder and Carter Coughlin. Carter Coughlin last year, when they gave him an opportunity, was doing actually pretty damn well. He was one of the players that was the heart and soul of this defense last year.
Oh, what's his name? The corner safety or the free safety or.
I mean, Julian Love is still out there.
No, he wears number 30.
He brought us Darnay Holmes. Darnay Holmes has actually been picking it up the past couple of weeks, and he's giving us return duty. So the thing I want to say about Dave Gettleman, we only want to judge him for DeAndre Baker, Carter, Jimenez, Nate Solder, who we didn't have a damn choice to bring because there was nobody else out there.
Sam Bill.
I mean, Sam Bill, he's never touched the field, but who cares? Who cares about Sam Bill?
Right.
People miss on corners every year. They're not saying fire him for missing on a corner, are they?
Yeah.
You can't blame Dave Gettleman for these guys not playing with heart this year. You saw what they can do when they play with heart. Somebody got underneath somebody's ass this week because even Adoree Jackson was putting his nose in there to try to tackle somebody.
I heard that the DB coach went off on them in the room. And after the effort was questioned, he lit a fire into those boys and said, "You're the heart and soul of this defense. You need to go do something."
And also, Jabril Peppers is out for the year.
So what are we really destroying Dave Gettleman for? It's not like he's brought a whole bunch of bums to this team.
Thank you, Sunday, for smashing the
free
links.
agent acquisitions. Yes, Rudolph isn't that good, but we can get out that contract after this year. Nate Soda's contract actually helps us out next year by saving us $14 million. If we wanted to get rid of Bradbury Martinez, we save 20. If we want to get out of Bradbury Martinez, we save $23 million next year. If we want to get out those two contracts, the only really bad contract that we have is Dory Jackson. But if he plays like he did yesterday, he might be worth that contract. If he plays like he did yesterday for the rest of the season. Kenny Galladay, that was a 50-50 chance. You know that he's injured, but that's something that we needed on this team. And when he was playing, he was damn well.
Look at New Orleans. Look at New Orleans. That's what he can bring when healthy. So,
yeah. And Daniel Jones, I don't give a damn what you say about Daniel Jones. He's the heart and soul of this team. Is he a franchise quarterback? No, but he's our franchise quarterback.
Don't forget, Jeffrey, those years, that was Pat Shurmur, too, and Betcher. So he was drafting guys that Shurmur and Betcher wanted.
Yeah.
So Joseph says, no way I'm moving on from Bradbury and Martinez.
Only thing you could blame him for is not fixing the trenches. And it's not like he didn't try. It's just that these guys are panning out or people are getting injured. Because remember, he brought us Andrew Thomas. He was playing like one of the top left tackles in the league. After last year, everybody's saying he was Eric Flowers.
Well, he also brought Shane Lemieux and Nick Gates, but people didn't want to believe in the line. And you know, he did make investments. Now,
is it his fault that Shane Lemieux and Nick Gates got hurt early this season? Is it his fault that Andrew Thomas is hurt?
It is. It's his fault, Pat. It's fault. It's raining in New York today. Blame Gettleman, man. It's all Gettleman's fault. You don't know that? Gettleman has been the punching bag for this fan base for 3-4 years.
I agree with that point. Let's
beat up old school-looking guy because he talks with a New England accent and he's a little bit arrogant because you got to deal with this shitty media. So I would be arrogant with him too. Let's punch him in the face and beat him up. He's done nothing well. It's just stupid stuff, man. It takes time.
That's mainly John Mayer's fault. But at the end of the day,
John Mayer played
John Mayer's gonna be here. Dave Gettleman's not. I mean, like we could go into, well, after this year, Dave Gettleman's gone.
How do you know that?
Think so.
How do you know that?
If we finish with under a 500 record, Dave Gettleman's gone.
So we
could talk about well, this he tried to address this, and if this doesn't happen, it works out.
We'll win 10 in a row and go 12-5.
Yeah, but you're saying that right now with your heart. But if the Giants win 5 out of 6 or 6 out of 8, right, and they show you a major step up going into next year, you're gonna tell me you're not willing to keep them together one more year?
No, you have to keep them
we just won a game. People are mad.
They're gonna fire him and they're gonna promote somebody from the inside.
Yeah, the guy Abraham.
So you're telling me not once out of all the years Gettleman has been here, I get it. Not everything is his fault. Not everything is his fault. He tried to address the offensive line, but at the end of the day, the offensive line has been a problem. It's the business. It's not like I know John Mayer likes to be tied to certain people, but
okay,
going to come out and say they're going to
the offensive line's giving up 40 points a game.
First of all, Reddick is not going to be the GM of the Giants. I hope you're not hoping for that. Reddick is not going to be the Giants GM. You guys know that.
Yeah.
Number 2, you know Gettleman is not going to get fired, right? You understand Gettleman's in his final year of his contract right now as we speak. Did you know that?
I will put $20.
What I'm telling you is he might retire. Mara might ask him to retire because he's in the final year of his contract. Or if things
that's what I mean.
If things end up good at the end of the year, he might give him a one more year. Come back for one more year.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
He's not going to be our general manager next year.
I'm not saying
I think they're going to do the classy thing, and he's going to retire due to health concerns or something, just to like make it seem like
people are still arguing.
Well, you know what's funny? Let me just say one thing. Let me just say one thing. I don't even talk that. Let me just say one thing. You're gonna fire Gettleman. That's fine. I understand. You want to move on, get somebody younger with a new, fresh mind. That's fine. Okay. Here's the thing: the draft that we have coming up, and the things we need, which is all basically in the trenches. You can't pick a better GM than Gettleman to go get this one last job.
How can you say that though?
It's
How
a
can you
fact.
say that? How can you say
This
that
is a
when
week-
the
this is
when
a
the
week-to-week
people he
league.
picked, when the people
His
he
history
picked,
is
all these
offensive
trenches haven't
line,
worked out.
defensive ends. That's his history.
It's a week-to-week league.
But it
And right
hasn't
now we're
worked out
high
for us. That's
because
what
we
I'm
won.
saying.
We're high
That's what I'm
because
saying.
they
It
won.
hasn't worked out.
So I just want
You
to
can't-
ask. I want
Adam.
to ask. I want to ask Ash, and I believe Adam.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So you guys on point with fire Gettleman, period, right?
Real fast, Pat.
I'm not-
Logan, don't
listen,
disrespect
I'm
Eli like
staking,
that.
I'm staking my
We
flag
see that,
on
Logan.
that side, and I'm going to ride or die with it. That's the side I decided, because people flip flop every week, right? They'll be like, "Oh, Gettleman's great." Then next week we lose 3 in a row. Fire Gettleman. I'm going to go with, if we don't make the playoffs, period, he's got to go. That's just me. Okay. I understand the list
let
of
me
players.
let me clear my stance on this, right? I'm saying every first round pick that Gettleman has had has been a hit, you know, right? You know, but if this was like Gettleman and he was like in his year 2 or something, okay, we'll keep him. But Gettleman has been here since 2018, and I don't think we could go another year with more failure. So I think his time is up. That's where I'm at. I'm not saying that he's done a horrible job or anything. I'm just saying like it's been enough time. That's where I'm
I
at.
mean, it's an organizational issue.
What's the
right?
difference?
But-
You bring in another
Right.
GM next year, okay? And we win 6 games, man. I'm telling you right now, I'm gonna come at you guys like crazy.
Go ahead, man. You come at me every day.
Let's say
Other things. They have nothing. I can
GM,
tell you
GM don't
come at me
coach
every
the
day.
game, man. GM don't coach the game. GM doesn't play the game.
Okay,
man.
so how is it? So what? So
So why was
That's
he
a
fired in
fact.
what's going
Carolina?
to be different? What's going to be totally
He went to the
different?
Super Bowl. Why was he fired in Carolina? They went to the Super Bowl.
What my thing is, what's going to be totally different than bringing in somebody else, or I don't know what Kevin Ingrams has, but what's going to be totally different if you bring in somebody that has been in that same philosophy that they're running? What's going to be totally different?
My question to you guys is: we fired Gettleman. What type of philosophy do you want ran with the new GM?
I need us
The giant
to.
way. That's what I don't want, because
And Gettleman
right
got
now-
fired because he wouldn't. He
I can't
franchise
accept, I don't
tagged
want
Josh
the giant
Norman and
way.
didn't sign him and let him
I
walk.
can't accept. I don't
Which
want
was
the
smart.
giant way when you're so adamant
no.
about releasing the guy. You got to
I
tell me
need-
what type of philosophy you want
I
if you're
need.
going to
Okay.
release a guy.
All right. Here's how I want to look at it. Okay. Right now, I know a few teams I bring in GMs that have winning records. Okay, right now, to bring a different flavor to it. The reason why Gettleman was brought back, and let me see if you agree with this, Pat, is that Eli Manning was being run back on the Giant fan base. Okay, so when John Mara brought him in, and by the way, they cut Reese and McAdoo at the season start. They didn't even look for a GM. What they did was they went to Ernie Accorsi and said, "Hey, Ernie, can you help us in this GM search?" And they go, "Do you have any candidates?" He goes, "Well, I almost picked Gettleman last time." "Oh, Dave Gettleman, he got fired from another team. Let's bring him in," right? So then what happens? When he
We'll get to that
comes
in a
in,
second, Steve.
the reason we don't get a good coach the
I mean,
first
I
time
just
think
he's
Duncan.
hired is because they want to run back Eli Manning, which, by the way, I love Eli Manning, but McAdoo wasn't wrong in trying to bench him. He was wrong by putting in Geno Smith. We know that now. The problem is that John Mara got all salty that his dad's quarterback, got benched. So he went with a guy that brought back Eli Manning. They sucked 2 years in a row. So what did they do? They cut him again with his ass on the line. And they brought in Joe Judge. Now, if they don't make the playoffs after this spending spree that we all sat here and said, this team has got to do such and such and such and such, and they're going to be in the playoffs. If you want to keep Judge around, right, and he performs these next 10 games, fine. We can have that discussion. But if we're basing this off of one game. 2 weeks ago, we were all sitting here saying fire the coach and the GM. So now you want to come at me for staking my claim that I still want to fire the guy. Nothing has changed until I see them in the playoffs. And when they do, if they fire him, I want a guy who's come from an organization like Pittsburgh, like Baltimore, like Kansas City, and bring in a guy that has a different set of eyes, not a retread giant prodigy that you brought in. That's why you want.
I don't even need.
I give it to you, and not to be.
I don't even know if I said fire Gettleman. I remember I was thinking about everything.
Fire Gettleman either.
Listen, bro, all these streams in the off season, everybody was talking about before the preview of the season. We got to make the playoffs, and unless we didn't make the playoffs, it was a wrap. It was a wrap for Gettleman. This was Gettleman's prover year. That's what I recall.
Were we not mad at Gettleman for being like 1-5? Like, come on, guys, don't sit here and tell me if I gotta go find the tape, I'll go find the tape. But don't tell me sit here, everybody, that nobody wanted somebody.
Nobody's blaming.
You guys do realize we're not getting a GM from another organization. You do realize this, right? They're gonna promote Ibrahim if Gettleman.
That's what I've been saying the whole time.
They can bring in somebody else.
But my thing is,
the Giants are gonna promote, and that's what they do.
I'm gonna say something that I've always said. We've always come at Joe Judge for not practicing what he preached with fighting for 60 minutes, his old introductory speech. We always go back to that whenever we lose. But why can't we have that same energy for Gettleman? At the end of the day, our trenches have not been fixed. They haven't been fixed for years. When he got hired as the general manager, he said that we were going to have trenches. After Jerry Reese has spent years of not building lines around us.
I like the background pick, Logan.
He's the one that came in here and said that he was going to fix that. And since 2018, it hasn't been fixed. No matter what hasn't worked out, it's a business. You put Gettleman on any other team, he's fired. Let's be real.
Well, let's go past that, because you know damn well Mara told Gettleman, you're going to come here, be my GM. I want Eli Manning, my quarterback. That's stipulation number one. Number two, you have no cap room because Jerry Reese cooked your ass, signing 5-year contracts. Okay, so you make do with what you have right now, and then these feet.
Okay, I digress.
Dude, we already got over the Nate Solder situation. How much, what else was he supposed to do?
No, I'm not saying that. You just said we had no cap.
That 1 year, look what he just did last season.
Just because you sign one person,
you're right, but Mara stuck his nose in instead of saying goodbye to Eli when he was past his prime. Okay, and said, you're doing this. We all say here on the panel that Saquon Barkley was the draft pick to save Eli Manning's career to try to get him another playoff run.
And half the fan base hates him because he made that pick. And you guys just
they were.
That was
Yes.
Last
yes,
year,
they were.
Injury prone. And so now you're telling me a guy who hasn't played in 3 years is a great pick because he sizzled on his rookie year. We could have Quentin Nelson, but we didn't get him. But now here we have Saquon Barkley. I'm just saying.
Do you know?
How is Barkley injury prone?
Argue.
What do you mean he's injury prone? He hasn't played a full season in 3 years.
If you all get a chance, just real quick, and then Pat. But if you get just watch the Papa and Carl Banks interview today, man. It was 2 hours ago. I sent it to a couple guys. I watched it. Carl Banks spoke about this specific thing, man. He went into it. And he said, stop being negative. He told the fan base, stop being negative. Be a little positive. You can't just fire everyone every other week.
That's the big thing I have.
I'm not talking about firing. I'm not talking about firing. Listen, I'm not talking about firing nobody in season. All that stuff needs to be done when the season's done. To me, no matter how bad it gets, unless we don't win a whole nother game for the rest of the season, and you want to fire Joe Judge like week 15 or something, okay. But I'm waiting for the season. My thing is that
We do
at the end
take
of-
questions, but it's just getting heated right now, and I love it because it's good content. But let's just slow it down and
Take
kind
his
of get
question.
these
Just
questions
let
in.
Ash finish.
So,
Take his question, and then we
so
continue.
Ash, we're gonna let you finish. But Steve, I want to know: are you with Getterman and are you without Getterman? It looks like from your comments you want to get rid of Getterman. I'm
Logan,
gonna
what
let
are you doing?
Ash finish, and then we can start taking questions.
Okay, I just want to say I'm not getting heated at all. I'm just explaining my side on things. I just want to clear that. I just want to say that. But my
Heated
thing
is just a
is
slang word
that
I
I'm
use
not
for
saying
getting.
Gettleman is
Nah, we
gonna.
all just care. That's all. We all care. That's all.
I'm not saying
Okay, yeah.
Gettleman has done, a bad job at being a GM. I'm not like I know John Mayer's restricted him, but I was one of the main ones. Last year or before the draft, I said we're not going to draft all offensive linemen round one, and we're not going to draft them round two because I knew one of those edge rushers that Gettleman, that Judge and Patrick Graham did work on was going to reach round two, and he wasn't going to pass up on him. But I said as soon as round three hits, we need to draft the O-line. And that's both Gettleman and Judge's fault. That we didn't go a whole draft without drafting a lineman. And then the year before, when Daniel Jones literally couldn't throw it to nobody, the year before that, we went a whole draft without drafting a receiver because the franchise and the organization thought that we had a guy in Darius Slayton.
Oh, don't forget Golden Tate, a gem of a
The
signing.
goat.
All right, let me just grab the mic real fast. All right, so I get where all of you guys are coming from, and that's why it's easy for me to say I'm 50-50. The reason why I'm 50-50 is I don't want to be those fans. I'm not saying it's anyone on this stream. I don't want to be those fans that win a game and then want to keep people and then lose a game and then want to get rid of people. The way I'm looking at it is you made a promise to me. If I'm looking at it like a presidential campaign, and your number one promise was to fix your line. We gave you 3, and
The
this is your
United
4th
States
year,
O-line.
and you did not fix that line. That tells me that you can't come through on your promise of to fix the line. Now, on top of that, to be a hypocrite to myself, it's hard to fix a line when players can't make the field, and you can't fix a line when things are not working out, such as our turf sucks. We don't want to get into that, but look how much injuries we had in the last 4 years. Now, it's hard to really evaluate a quarterback in Daniel Jones and evaluate Dave Gettleman's job when you look at the injuries this team sustained over the last 4 years. Now, I get it. I'm 50-50 because of the fact that I just said it. If Gettleman comes out this year, and I want to come back to this discussion towards the end of the season, because as you could see, our defense showed up. If our defense showed up week 1, we wouldn't be a 2-5 team, and Gettleman's name wouldn't even come up in discussion for being fired. If you used to ask me, the person who should have got fired is still is on the bubble block for me is Patrick Graham, because 1 week doesn't do it for me. 1 week does not do it for
Jason
me.
Garrett had
Okay,
a good game.
it's easy to look at Gettleman and look at his drafts and go over it. Obviously, I made a video about it. You said you was going to fix the line, and you neglected the line. One of these drafted, I believe it was 2019, or it should have been, 2019. You totally neglected the line. I get it. You didn't really have that much lines to go after this year in free agency. I totally understand it. But I think right now, as Giants fans, we're going to go around in the circle because we're so split. 1 second, this team looks like that at the bottom of the pits, and then they come and they put a performance like they did against Carolina. That's why, for me, I'm on hold. Should he get fired? It's too early to tell. We have to see what we finish with. But I love everybody's opinion, and I love talking about it because it brings good content. But I think the longer we stay here, and we're talking about Gettleman, is just going to be, a bunch of a clusterfuck until we can actually see how we come up next week against the Chiefs. And I want to say thank you all for coming on, and let's get it, Pat.
I got one question.
Yes.
So if we started the season off without getting any injuries, that's a major if. If we got a line of Thomas at left tackle, Nick Gates at left guard, whoever the center would have been, I think it would have been who did they start at center the first week?
Nick Gates.
They started Nick Gates. I think it would have still been Price.
No,
It would have still been Billy Price. Okay, Billy Price at center.
Gates and Lemieux were starting.
Shane
Just the
Lemieux
fact-
or Hernandez at right guard.
Game 2, we
Purdy-
lost Nick Gates, and he was a dog, and you know that. You
Yeah.
talk about dogs all the time. I get that from you, Pat. You know, but I let you go.
And Pert or Soda at right tackle. Eventually, Pert would have took over for Nate Soda. If Nick Gates and Shane Lemieux are healthy, I believe those are our guards, and we only would have had to worry about Billy Price and Nate Soda. And eventually, it wouldn't. I'm not saying it wouldn't have mattered, but Daniel Jones was balling out even with Nate Soda in there at right tackle when Andrew Thomas was healthy. So imagine if Nick Gates was healthy, Shane Lemieux was healthy, and for some reason, I think Will Hernandez plays better when Nick Gates is in the lineup. For some reason, he does. I don't like him on the same side as Nate Soda because I think Will Hernandez takes the personality of the tackle that's by him. If you understand what I'm saying.
Yes.
I think he plays better when he has a better person at that side of the line. I believe he plays better when Matt Pert is at that right side instead of Nate Soda.
Billy Price doesn't do many favors.
Yeah, so I really think the only glaring hole that we would have had on this offensive line was Billy Price. And I don't think everybody would be singing the same song talking about Dave Gettleman fixing the line.
And just imagine if
I feel like it's even
against Carolina, I get it takes some real fast. I get it takes some time. I get it. You know, you didn't really play in preseason. I get it. You have the whole summer. But just imagine if our D showed up half of what they showed. Just imagine if our D showed up, and this is a D that had injuries. Just imagine if you tried since Denver. This team wouldn't be 2-5, and you can go.
That happens sometimes.
Yeah,
I feel like a few weeks to show up. You know what are you gonna do?
Absolutely,
especially when your defense ain't playing no preseason. How about that?
But even we talked about it. I feel like it's also the depth too because we even talk about it. Like we can't even get a yard. We can't even get a yard across the goal line.
Yeah, but this is not.
We're playing freaking backups for backups.
This is not our starting line, man.
What was Miz saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying it's about depth too. That's what I'm saying.
Miz,
check it out. Check it out. You want to know how well I know this? I'm gonna let Pat answer what I'm thinking. Watch this, Pat. Why Gettleman didn't finish the O-line this past draft? Go ahead.
I believe the draft was taken from him.
Thank you. This guy read my mind, and I'm a half a country away from him.
I know that because of the Tony pick and the
but that's a fact. That's a fact.
I believe
this is hilarious.
Hey, this
Judge made the picks, and that's why Judge scrambled for apples and oranges on Wednesday, 3 days before the season started.
They put that on Gettleman, and Gettleman did what he could to get offensive linemen in here. They said that gave Gettleman, we need offensive linemen, get us some offensive linemen, and that's what he did.
That brings me to my point.
Unfortunately, go ahead, Adam. My bad.
Yeah, hold it down, gang. I'll be right back.
The point I wanted to make before is when we were on this podcast with these guys, everyone was mad at Gettleman for not drafting a lineman, right? That's all I heard for 2 weeks, for weeks until we got to camp. And what did I say to you guys about that? I said they believed in their talent that they had here. Well, guess what?
I said that
That's
too.
what they did. That's what they believed. Okay. And well, whether it was the right move or not, he was going to live and die by that sword. Well, that's what he lived by. Okay. And now that sword is where we're at with Billy Price, Matt Skura, and Bad Bredesen, and whoever these guys are. I mean, they're trying to bring in guys at last minute bargain basement, but this is what we said before. So when I said to you guys early on, hey, listen, they believe I got vilified. I got yelled out of the podcast room, like, oh, you should have picked this guy. I said, well, they're going to believe in him. And guess what? We have to give our hands to Rob Sale for making chicken soup out of chicken shit because he wasn't giving much, and these guys are holding up the line. The line is the worst part of the team.
I told you guys how they were going to get the offensive lineman, but the injury bug hit way too soon, and these guys didn't. You know, they figured it'd be like week 8 or week 9, and they'd be under the program. They would have been in shape.
Let's not forget we had 2 veterans retire before the season hit too.
Well, we weren't the only team with that. We're not the only team that happened to.
But
I said that too. But that was just for
counting on Looney and Fulton.
I said that too, but that was just for drafting Rashawn Slater in the first. I said that they believed that, they were content with their offensive line to pass up on a. But I didn't think we were going to go a whole draft.
Well, I got killed because I said this year Gettleman's going to trade down. You guys all ran me out of the room. Guess what happened? The minute we did that, I knew exactly where we were going. I wanted Slater. Did I or did I not say that? I wanted a lineman.
Yeah.
I was pounding the table for a lineman.
Technically, we wanted a lineman. We didn't care where we got it. We wanted a lineman.
Right.
Because we
all right, but the minute we traded down,
whoever we wanted. We wanted Michael Parsons.
They wanted Slater. Slater fans was going crazy.
Yeah, I was a Slater guy.
Fans was going crazy.
I'm telling you this. If Dave Gettleman had his choice, Michael Parsons would be a Giant right now.
That's who I would have picked, But
we would have been yelling about that too. We would have been yelling about.
Not really, because you would have had yourself a beast linebacker for the next 13 years.
Okay. Well, if he was injured or something, we would have done the same thing we did with Tony. If he was injured or had some.
But that's the same. You can say that about any pick.
I'm just saying. I'm just saying what is being said on this podcast. When we got Tony, we said, "Oh, he stinks. Why did we pick him?" Blah blah blah. All of a sudden, he gets in the game. And
I love Tony.
He's a great pick.
First of all, I'm a Florida fan.
I love Tony.
Not me.
I love the Tony.
I like Tony.
I either wanted a receiver or Parsons.
I said that the Tony pick surprised me, but I didn't say I hated him.
I love the pick. I love the pick draft night. This is the one that came to me because of that pick.
Yeah, I wasn't happy. I admit it. I wasn't happy about the pick. I never said Tony's not a weapon. I just wasn't happy. I thought we had major needs, and that was not.
No, I didn't say he wasn't a weapon. We argued about him starting and getting in the game.
Y'all need to listen to your boy, man. I try to tell y'all there's a lot of hype around one boy out of Michigan.
The edge, Aiden Hutchinson.
Nah, the other dude. I forgot his name. He got drafted by the Colts.
Could he pay?
Oh, yeah. Quiddy Pay.
Try to tell people.
But I thought we were drafting.
Quiddy Pay is a monster. He's playing injured right now. He's playing injured now. Just imagine if he wasn't injured. His speed. Oh my God.
But I think we all knew he was a beast.
Yeah, they did.
But we have Aziz, so I can't complain about that.
To be honest, real fast, like I was studying Devontae, I was studying Waddle. I wasn't studying Chase because Chase is a monster. We all knew that. I didn't really look into Tony until after we drafted him on draft night. I was surprised. But after we drafted him, and I'm like, damn, we got Tony and another first round next year. That's a win. Then when I really started studying Tony,
we just
bro, like I've been tooting his horn all fucking preseason. I was telling people he's gonna have more yards than Kenny Golladay. Just watch. This guy just needs to get on the field.
I said we should have got we should have drafted a guard, like a true center.
I'll be right back, guys.
Wyatt Creed or
you might get one this draft.
Or Wyatt Davis. That's what I wanted.
If we could be positive for a moment and not look backwards at the negative, this coming draft, man, we're gonna have a major ability to fill a lot of places like center, defensive ends, guard,
edge.
We should be able to fix our trenches no matter where.
But now let's not forget, a lot of YouTubers, and I mean a lot of YouTubers, said that they wanted Pert to start at right tackle. Everybody liked Matt Pert, thought he was going to be the guy.
He might be the guy. He's young. Let's give him a chance.
I feel like he would have. I don't know why they're not putting him at right tackle right now.
That's what they did. They panicked and they weren't. Dave Gettleman again probably said, "Listen, we got Nate Solder on here. Let's play him and see what we got." And that's also because Matt Pert kind of was struggling a little bit, and so they decided to go with Nate Solder, because if this was Andrew Thomas, that's why they let Andrew Thomas in. If Andrew Thomas is a third-round pick, he's probably not starting. But because he's a first-round pick, they let him weather the storm, and he played. Matt Pert, on the other hand, was supposed to be the starter. Everything going into
the plan
was Matt Pert doing well.
The plan was always to have Matt Pert starting at right tackle, and then, for Giants fans, we wanted Matt Pert to start at right tackle, but to have Nate Solder as a swing tackle.
Right,
but
then they panicked game one.
Well, this next 3 weeks with Pert playing left tackle is very valuable experience right now. And there's no reason why he should not beat Solder out on right tackle when Thomas comes back after the bye week. So
that's when he's coming back.
So with this draft, even if we don't make the playoffs, okay, I believe we have our quarterback. I believe we have our left tackle. I'm hoping Pert can be our right tackle. I'm hoping Azeez Ojulari can become a really good pass rusher. And if we get another dominant edge rusher, put one on one side, one on the other. But let's not forget, these guys are all going to be rookies. Next year, we're going to probably have 4 rookies starting on the offensive line with Thomas being the only veteran. Maybe Pert. All right, so that's 2. But still, 3 guys, the interior is going to be rookies. Unless we can go out and get an experienced left guard, right guard, $6-7 million a year, maybe something like that, till the guys can come in and take over.
We'll get to that question in a bit, Steve.
But if we really look at the team with the way they played yesterday, because a lot of us had expectations because we thought our defense was going to be what we saw last Sunday.
Yeah.
That's why a lot of us said 12-5, 11-6, double-digit wins. That's why we were so freaking high and mighty. But you know what? We sitting here bitching about the offensive line, and the offenses look good. Weeks 2, week 3, week 4. Yeah, against the Rams, they look like dog shit. But you know what? It was a little bit better Sunday, but not by much. The only reason that we were able to move the ball is because of Garrett's play calling, and everybody wanted to fire Garrett. This is Garrett's last year under contract. This is Graham's last year under contract. So a lot of things are going to be different next year because with Garrett doing what he's doing right now, showing to the world what he can do with Daniel Jones, chances are he's going to be a head coach. And it wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't at the Raiders. It wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't in Jacksonville. And it would not shock me if the Eagles don't try to call him.
That's true. I will say this.
Make sure you guys go sub to everybody here. Sub to Classified, sub to Miz, Jaden, Adam, Logan, Ash Money, and Pat. And let's get it, Pat. You was about to make.
You already know where I stand on. I'll just answer Steve's question. I don't think we are beating Kansas City. It's simple as that. We are walking into a really tough spot. I already said that. That's how I feel. I hope I'm wrong. I pray I'm wrong. And if the Giants give them a strong game, I'll be going nuts. But I just think the Chiefs are going to get right this week, man.
They have a shot, man. Listen.
I'm not saying they don't have a shot, but you got to be realistic about it.
Picked off. Look. I am being realistic about it. This is football, okay? We went into the game on Sunday thinking we probably didn't win, even though we knew it was a team we matched up well against. And we ended up beating them. Now, if we play defense, because they are struggling, the Chiefs, this is a chance for us. Will they win? I don't know. But if you ask me, it's a 50-50 shot for them to win. If this was early on, and Carl Banks said it, if you follow Carl Banks, which you brought up many times, Miz, he said it's not about the schedule, it's when you play them on the schedule. So right now, the Chiefs aren't the best team in football right now. We can all agree with that, okay? So I don't know. They have 2 wins, right? We have 2 wins. They have 3 wins, all right? That doesn't mean we can't beat them, okay? They're struggling, coming off a horrible performance. It's going to be tough to do, but it's not something out of the realm of possibility to think that we can beat them. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it will happen, but it's not out of the realm of possibility.
The Chiefs are angry. I'm trying to tell y'all. Oh my goodness!
Where do y'all get this Chiefs team talking about coming out angry and they are mad because they had a bad game?
Do we also
They just got stomped.
really
like
bad,
that, bro.
They just got stomped.
Okay,
We keep saying that, and they continue to suck.
They are at their most vulnerable right now.
Look
the
at the
Chiefs are not
teams
a
they
team
play.
like
They
that.
Kansas City defense is one of the worst in the
The
league.
defense have a lot of problems right now. The O-lines are having a lot of problems right now.
I'm just saying they're ripe for the picking right now. If this was a chance for the Giants to upset
I agree.
They just got picked. That's it.
I fell into this trap.
3-4 games in a
They've
row.
been getting picked on all year.
You can
I
you
fell
can-
in this- I
We
fell
don't
into this
have
trap.
what the Titans
It's not like the Chiefs were
Where's the
losing
Super
to some
Saiyan-
bums.
where's
They
the
were
Super
losing to
Saiyan
good
team gonna
teams,
come
some of the
from?
best teams in the league.
Yeah, hold up though. You can't survive in the NFL no matter who's that quarterback if you don't have an offensive line and you don't have a defense.
Oh,
And the
that's
Giants
another
know
thing.
that pretty well.
That's another thing I remember everybody saying. Oh, Kansas City bought an offensive line. How come we didn't buy an offensive line? They're going to be really good this year. I mean, they're going to block from Mahomes. They're going to have a ground game. They got the best offensive lineman in the damn free agent market. Yeah, I guess they're kind of stuck now.
Look,
Mahomes has 14 turnovers.
We better
If
get
I'm
some
wrong-
weapons back if you want to win this game this week. We better be getting
yeah,
somebody.
that's what.
Galladay.
I'm just saying that this is the time to pick them off while they are still hurt.
You're not going to be up 5-3 in the third quarter.
Where is this?
You're not going to be up 5-3 in the third quarter. Get serious right now.
Look, I'm not, Miz. I
I'm
am
wrong,
serious.
I'm
That's
wrong.
why you don't understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying they're going to run away with the game. I'm saying if the Giants had a chance to win a game, this would be the time to pick off the Kansas City Chiefs because of how they're playing.
All I'm saying is that it's not like Kansas City lost to some bums. They lost to the Bills, best team in the AFC. They got stomped. All I'm saying is that the Giants are in a bad spot right now to be in a perfect place for a team to get their mojo back.
Yeah,
I mean,
man, that's what I'm worried about.
Y'all can, you know, you feel me? Like, I fell in this trap before. Y'all can fall in the trap. I fell in this trap before. I'm not, getting my hopes up or nothing. All I'm saying is that the Chiefs are facing a good team to get their mojo back. They're in a good spot to get their mojo back on a primetime game, that is, and we never do good on Monday Night Football.
That's the biggest thing right there, that the game is nationally televised and they know it.
Facts. Especially if we don't have Galladay and Tony.
Galladay's back.
How do you know? What do you wait? Hold on. How do you know?
Because they said he is. Because they said he is.
Nobody said anything.
I just
and even
read
if Galladay is back, who say he gonna be out there dominating?
They announced today that Galladay's back.
I read it on Twitter.
Yeah, I have to agree with Jeffrey. What he just put down there. He said his brother's a Titans fan, and his team's defense isn't good. The Chiefs' offense couldn't score on them. I seem to recall some people in the stream that were saying the Titans got the worst defense in the league, and the Chiefs couldn't score on that defense. They don't have corners, if I'm not mistaken.
Their number one is Janoris Jenkins.
Their secondaries like hot garbage, I believe people were saying.
Yep.
And Patrick Mahomes was careless with the ball last game too. And if I'm wrong, and the Giants keep it close, then I'll come on here and I'll say I'm wrong. But all I'm saying is this is the perfect spot. I've seen it happen before where we're high after a win, and then the next game a team gets their mojo back and we don't do good. That's all I'm saying.
And all I'm saying is I've given the Giants maybe a 30% chance to win. I'm not saying it's 60 or 70% chance to win. I believe we could have a chance the way we played. If that defense comes out and does what they did and they can get after Mahomes like they got after Donald, or Darnold, however the hell you say his last name, Donald Duck for all I friggin' care, because he was quacking it up. They were pretty good on the damn field. If we can repeat that performance,
we got to blitz Mahomes a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, blitz Mahomes a lot. Like no big deal.
It's more like keep him contained.
Go fast, guys. I'm gonna ask Jaden a question because he hardly talks on these streams, and you know he has so much knowledge. So, Jaden, what is our method of victory over the Chiefs? How can the Giants win this game?
Listen, one thing on defense, you blitz Mahomes a lot. Don't give him so much time to throw because they got the speed receivers who could just go down the field that easy. Because after the Giants score a touchdown, I don't want to give up a touchdown right the next drive. That's something I've always hated.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you blitz them all game, you're going to get destroyed.
Yeah, that's not
Kelsey going to destroy us.
Yeah, that's not a team that you sit there and just blitz all damn day. You got to actually have off defensive linemen that can actually get in there with four-man pressure like the Bills did. Like the Titans were.
Yes.
And like we did against the Panthers last week. If you blitz Mahomes, all they're going to do is hit you with quick slant routes and quick routes with Tyreek Hill, Nicole Hardman, Pringle, all those guys, and they're faster than your DB. So if they miss one tackle, it's to the house. So you go there blitzing all day, it's a wrap. What you do is you mix your coverage up. You mix your coverage up with cover 2 and cover 3 behind good pressure with your 4 defensive linemen, and that's why the Chiefs are struggling. Because Mahomes doesn't know how to go down. Mahomes is always going to try to zigzag and throw across his whole body, and you play discipline and you make him turn over that ball, and you hit Travis Kelce hard and often.
Hey, Lou.
I don't care if he gets 5 catches for 60 yards. If you're hitting him that whole game, he's not the same guy. That guy does not like to be touched.
Nope.
Not in that type of way. And the Bills and the Titans beat him up. And he's not the same guy when you hit him. Tyreek Hill, just contain him. Don't let him get deep. Because the Chiefs are a greedy team. They're going to try to beat you deep at least 20 times out the game. And if you play good coverage over the top, their offense stalls because they're running deep routes. So only way they're going to go up the field is if they're hitting Kelsey on Mahomes' check down. And if you're hitting that guy hard every time he touches the ball, I promise you, he's not the same guy.
And that's where I think we're gonna really miss Jabril with that, because that's like our hardest hitter on the defense.
Who else did the Chiefs lose to? Because they're 3-4.
The Ravens, Chargers, Bills, and
the Ravens, Chargers, Bills, Titans.
Okay.
All good
teams. Which are all a pretty good team. But they're giving you the formula to beat this team. They all got pressure with their front four. Just like Tampa Bay did.
We don't have what they have. We don't have that. I don't feel like we have that talent to do what they have.
I don't know. With Azeez Ojulari and Roche playing, they played pretty damn well together. I told you, if you get that lineup,
and not only that McKinney at inside linebacker is playing pretty good ball too.
This is the worst week to lose Peppers. This was the worst week. We needed him this week, man. He brings that emotion, that fire, man.
What was Peppers doing that was so great?
He's just a leader, man. He's a leader. He's the leader of the defense. He
can do the same thing from the sidelines. He can cheer from the
sidelines.
He can cheer from the sidelines.
Oh, really?
The Giants need cheerleaders. The most important.
Sterling Shepard's been doing that. Look how amped up he's been, and he's been getting. He got Tony fired up to play. He's been getting those guys fired up to play.
Sterling Shepard, man. I'm tired of Sterling Shepard and his 6.5 games a year, okay?
Thank you, Miz. I'm tired of it too. Absolutely.
I'm tired of that kid. He can't play. He can't play, but he could jump around like a maniac on the sideline. I saw him. So get your ass in the field and run it there.
Hamstring is different from jumping up and then trying to make cuts and run, man.
He was going nuts on the sideline.
He wanted
to go nuts.
He wanted to go.
Sterling Shepard was having a tiny aneurysm on the sideline, my guy.
No, he was going nuts.
My problem is Sterling Shepard is you've been in the league for like 5 years and you only played 2 full seasons. And like for me, I've been tooting this horn since forever. So that's just my.
Don't get me wrong. We need him to play. I want him to play. I like him. I like his post and everything he does. I need him to play. I get it. I just want him to play.
He's a really good receiver when he plays, Miz, but he's never on the field.
Listen, who's going to play for Peppers? That's my question, Pat. Who's playing for Peppers? Love? Who's playing for Peppers?
Julian Love can play right there. Why can't
McKinney?
All right.
Why can't Julian Love play right there? He does the same exact thing.
That's why I threw his name out there. He can.
So McKinney and Ryan.
And then when you play the Chiefs, you really don't need a box safety like that because they really don't run the ball like that. If your defensive tackles can stop them from running up the middle, they're going to abandon that run and try to beat you.
Yeah, but Jeffy, Shepard been hurt since we drafted him from Oklahoma. I've been a Shepard fan since he was running crazy at Oklahoma. And he showed glimpses of that, but still, like over the past times that we had him, he's always on the damn sideline, and I'm sick of it. I like him. I think he's a really great receiver. I think he is, but availability is the number one thing. And when you look at how much days he's been in the league and how much games he started and how much games he actually completed, the guy had like 7 concussions. I'm a big fan of the UFC. Like concussions are real. I mean, like the guy had a lot of injuries. And that's what really bothered me.
To Steve, he says Russell Wilson is cheerleading on the side, but didn't help yesterday against the Saints. Their past 2 games without Russell Wilson, they lost by last-second field goals both times. I believe that guy's motivating those guys to play out there as hard as they can.
That's how you know if he was playing
the last 2 weeks.
If he was playing, they probably win both those games, right?
If he's playing, they win both those games by at least 10 points.
Oh, absolutely, Jeff, and absolutely, Pat.
Russell Wilson is the leader of that team, and he's cheering on those sidelines like he's playing, and it's keeping those players motivated to keep playing, even though he's not in the game.
But I do feel like the Giants, they're gonna need Tony this week too, though, because let's just say if it's a close game, you're gonna need a game changer.
Yeah, we had wide receiver problems for the last 9 years.
I'm telling you who that's going to be. It's going to be Azeez Ojulari, man. He makes this defensive line go.
I'm talking about the offensive side. Like,
Yeah,
if we're
Offensive
back,
side, it'll take care of itself. You can't be like, oh, somebody no. The offensive side is gonna take care of itself. You run a simple game plan because we do not have our players, and you depend on that defense to get some things done for you until our players come back. There's not gonna be any miracle play on the offense unless they let John Ross get behind them or they let Pettis catch a slant like he did last week against the Panthers and take it about 30 to 40 yards. I'm not worried about the offense because I know what my offense is going out there to do. They're going to try to run the ball. Hopefully they can run the ball on the Chiefs defensive line. That'd be even better. And I tell you what, less is more with Evan Ingram. When you don't make Evan Ingram the focal point on this team, he can actually be half decent. Don't make him the focal point because he's not that player. But if you do rollouts or you hit him out the backfield, he does a little fake block. You can hit him to get 8 to 9 yards every time. That's good for him. But he's not a focal point on his offense.
That's why I can't go in there relying on the defense because Kansas City takes care of the Giants' defense's reps. You're not
okay. If anybody takes care of the defense's reps, you can't just be, oh, it's the Chiefs. We just don't have a chance. I don't give a damn who it is on that field. I don't give a damn who it is on that
defense. Your offense is not going to do nothing. That's why I said we need Tony.
Who says the offense can't do anything? That defense, the Chiefs' defense is just as bad as ours.
You're not doing nothing with Pettis, and I'm trying to tell you, I'm not doing nothing with.
So
Pettis.
they didn't do nothing with Pettis last week either.
Okay, because obviously
we were ahead. What's the excuse?
We were ahead. We were ahead, and their defense is getting tired.
Matter. They
Let's
did something.
Let's be real. The Chiefs' defense is booty, my guy.
The Chiefs' defense is worse than the Panthers.
We up against it. Come on, Pat. We up against a different animal this week than
Carolina. Come on, dude. Y'all
name somebody on the game.
I get it. We get a win, but the offense, they're not going to do that every. They're not going to do that every single.
As a whole, man, the whole situation.
Name somebody on the Chiefs defense besides Tyrann Mathieu.
It doesn't
name
matter.
Somebody on the Chiefs defense besides Tyrann Mathieu.
It doesn't matter. They can
Chris Jones just got back off injured reserve, and he's not even playing this week.
Matter. That defense, you say the same thing about our O-line, you know? Look at that O-line.
It doesn't matter.
My God, Kansas City's #1 corner is Trevarius Ward. Who the hell even is that?
Logan, you say that. But it does not matter. It does not matter.
Wait, hold on.
Tyreek Hill burns James Bradbury and they blow up 14. The game is done. It's done. You're not getting into a shootout with Dante Pettis and John Ross.
See, you're worried about a shootout. You're worried about a shootout.
It don't matter about a shootout. I want to win.
So basically, you're counting our defense out. You're saying that our defense won't do anything with Kansas City's offense. That's what you're saying. Kansas City, all of a sudden this season, is going to turn back into Super Saiyans.
Let me get something. Let me get something right. Let me get something right. So our defense could have made Taylor Heineke look like a god. Made Matt Ryan. We sold the game against Matt Ryan. Dak Prescott torched us. And we win one game against the Panthers. Now our defense is back to being our defense. Like, come on.
I never said our defense is back to being our defense, but I saw something different with that team last week. There's a difference between playing with heart and not playing with heart. When you play with heart, you're a better team automatically, and that team played with heart last week. That had nothing to do with the Panthers being a bad team. That defense played with heart. And if they play with heart, we're a damn good defense if they play with heart against anybody. Against anybody if they play with heart. That's what I'm saying. It's something.
Detroit plays with heart.
And they're in almost every game, ain't they?
And you know what? The Eagles fans are petrified of losing to the Detroit Lions this weekend.
Detroit almost upset the Rams.
Did they
almost upset the Ravens, except for a 66-yard field goal?
Like, come on, y'all! Like, oh my goodness! Like, all I'm saying is, I'm not gonna turn the gun off of one game.
Nobody's.
I'm not turning the gun off of one game.
We have a chance to win. You act like I'm saying we're gonna blow out the Chiefs. So I said we have a chance to win.
I'm saying
I said 30%.
We don't have a chance.
You're saying that
I say 40%.
We're just gonna stop Kansas City.
I'll say 35%.
I said 30%.
Is gonna like they're gonna be a top 10 pick this season. Like it's still Kansas City. They played good games.
I don't give a damn who it is. If our defense plays well,
they are. Yeah, they are, Jeffrey. They're because Philly 500 is like if we lose to the Lions, just tank. Tank. I don't want to win no more. Tank. This team sucks. Yeah, they're fire Jeffrey Lurie, fire
This is
freaking
the same-
Sirianni, fire
this is the-
everybody.
This is the same team that was down to the Washington football team 13-10 all the way until mid-third quarter until Tyler Heineke started messing up. It's the same team that let Philadelphia get back into the game. It's the same team that every time they get pressure, Mahomes looks scared. I'm saying if we get pressure like we did last week, because the Chiefs' offensive line is no better than the Panthers' offensive line. I'm going to just tell you that right now. If that boy Ojulari, they let that boy play the whole game and let him lead that edge rush and let Williams go crazy in the middle of that field, you're going to see a different Chiefs team out there. So y'all can laugh if you want to. I promise you, if we wind up beating them, you're going to look real crazy.
I said, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. All I'm saying is that
I'm telling you, this is a different
Giants
team.
fan, I care about a win. So I will feel much more comfortable going out there with having Kadarius Toney and having Kenny Golladay so we can secure the win.
Hey, look,
I'm
they're not here.
comfortable.
I'm not worried about those guys that are injured. When they come back, we will be good. I'm not worried about guys that are not here for a game that we're getting ready to play. That doesn't make sense. Dante Pettis did well the way he's been playing the past 2 weeks. He's been getting catches on crucial first downs for us, and he made a huge play for us last week.
You don't have to worry. You don't have to worry about David Sills no more because he got released today by the Giants, and so did Josh Jackson.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah,
And
because
damn sure he should have got
released.
released.
Game all season.
Still stinks.
He should have got released. You get your first chance coming there, and you drop a pass like that.
Yep.
It's time for you to go, and I'm glad they did that. It's showing better at roster management. I'm glad they damn near bench Zimenez for the whole game and let Quincy Roche play. He's a better pass rusher and a better run stopper.
It's about
better
time.
setting the edge.
It's about time.
I'm glad they got Ojulari most of the snaps last game, and Lorenzo Carter was barely playing. I'm glad they did. I'm glad they got Raymond Johnson in there on third down.
You cut this kid, you send a message to the rest of the roster. You better pick your game up or you're next. That's just how it goes.
Exactly. Something lit a fire underneath that defense. I don't know what it was, but Adoree Jackson looked like a totally different person.
Adoree Jackson was actually hitting people with some heart.
Yeah, he played very well.
He actually looked fast.
Was actually tackling with heart.
That's true. Right. Jeffrey makes a good point.
Yeah,
they also must know that there are some receivers ready to return.
Hence,
what?
Hence why I said I feel like we're gonna need Kadarius Toney is coming back.
See, I'm praying for Toney, Ash. You know why?
You said what?
A chance for Toney to come out on national TV and send a message to the whole country, and I could see him going off. But is the ankle healthy enough to cut? Because his game is all about cutting.
That's what I'm saying. I'll hold him out until he's 100%. You don't put a player like that that's explosive like that, and he's not 100% because you risk re-injuring him. I don't bring him back until he's 100%. Yeah. We'll be okay. We'll be just fine until they get back.
I want nothing more than have Jones and Toney go off in front of the nation so the country could be like, oh, this little crew has a future.
Zion.
You know?
Is Zion out here?
I think Zion said hold the street down for a bit.
I got to join off my phone.
I just wanted to. I'm not saying we don't listen. You're making me a believer, Pat, but I it's gonna be a tough game. That's all. It's gonna be a hard ass game, man.
I
really do think it'll be close.
I'm just saying, how can you say this team doesn't have a chance against the Chiefs the way they've been playing?
No, I never did say no. We're walking into a rough spot.
All I'm saying is that we're in a perfect position for them to bounce back. That's all I'm saying.
Spot. We're walking into a tough spot. 3 or 4
weeks ago, I can understand, but the way this team has been playing, they're vulnerable, bro. They are vulnerable. And when have the Chiefs ever proved that they're this super tough team? No, they always beat you because they just have great talent on the outside.
And you get up 14, 21 points, and then you're chasing.
Yeah. But now they're having to come back from behind, and that's not their style. The only time they did that was when the Houston Texans allowed them to do it.
Right.
That's not their style of play. They're usually getting on top of you and cruising the rest of the way, laughing and making 5-yard to 10-yard catches turn into touchdowns. People ain't allowing them to do that no more. Tampa Bay proved that last year in the Super Bowl, and they haven't looked the same since. When Tampa Bay put them things on them in the Super Bowl, when they got pressure with just their front four, and they kept hitting and hitting and hitting Travis Kelce, and he basically gave up in that Super Bowl, that shows you what you have to do to them. They're a finesse team. Hit them in the mouth.
Zion, could you let me
Yo, I'm
join
back. I'm
back
sorry.
on my phone?
Yeah, you're gonna jump back on your phone? Let's get it.
Yeah, man. If we come bring a tough game and keep the score, you know, at bay like we did the last game, it don't have to be 5-3, but you know, 14-10, hang around like that, 17-14. No, you never know. We take the game at the end, man. We ever stole this game, Pat.
20 points or less.
But if we ever stole this game, it would make our it changes the whole season and how we look at it. Because I'm telling you, we could start looking like Giants can make a run.
I agree. If we win.
Yeah, if we beat the Chiefs, I think we could go beat the Raiders as well. And sky's the limit. And when we get all our people back and we play the Buccaneers, because I think we could give them a hell of a battle with a full squad. I really do. Only thing that scares me about the Buccaneers is their defensive line against our offensive line. I believe that's going to determine that game right there. If our offensive line can hold their you-know-whats and play hardball against the Buccaneers and get a little bit of push, then we have a hell of a chance to beat them too.
Thomas will be back by that time.
Yeah, Thomas will be back by then. And let's
Barkley.
see what happens. Barkley be back. Hopefully Pert has had enough reps at right tackle to be a half-decent right tackle by then. And who knows what can happen. But I'm not scared of anybody with this squad that we have, even with injuries. Because I know one thing, if that defense plays with heart the way they played against the Panthers, it's going to be a tough game for you. I promise you that, because that's the same Panthers team that damn near beat the Cowboys. And they put up, 29 points against the Cowboys? They couldn't even score against us.
That's true.
Cowboys had Sam Darnold looking like a decent quarterback.
When's the last time we actually won a game like that? Like legitly won a game.
Legitly won a game like that.
In like a few years.
Years, yeah.
That's where the hope's coming from and everything. I mean, we don't win games like that. Usually it's a last second field goal.
They said the last time we won a game like that at home was like 2012 by like more than 21 points.
Yeah, against the Eagles, I believe.
Or was it?
I could see if we went there and beat the Panthers 6-3 or something like that, but we trounced them. And I'm not saying we're world beaters because we won one game, but I'm just saying if our defense plays the way like they played against the Panthers, we're a hard team to beat, no matter who you are. No matter who you are, because Ojulari, Williams, Dexter Lawrence, and Roche, those boys were playing.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
And don't be surprised if Carter Coughlin don't start to get more snaps on the edge too, because Carter Coughlin, when he got in there, looked pretty good too. And when McKinney, that's another thing. With McKinney being in there, that guy's more athletic than I thought.
We had 5 starters not playing on offense, and we still put up 25 points. That's
right. McKinney's playing. McKinney's going to be our starting middle linebacker in 2 weeks. Watch what I tell you. Because that dude plays middle linebacker damn well.
Yeah, I like the guy.
So I'm saying if our defense shows up like that, I don't see anybody putting up 24 to 30 points against us if our defense shows up like that and plays with determination and heart. I don't see a team putting up that many points on us like that.
The same thing with last year. Our defense was showing up most of the games.
And I believe this offense, even with our injuries, has enough juice to pull it out for us.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I'm going to hop off here. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, Logan, you have a good one.
All right, Logan.
Thanks for coming on.
Salute, Logan.
Oh, my God. Now people are complaining because Pepper was returning punts and got hurt.
Oh, my gosh.
Jesus.
I wanted to ask you guys about this. So, me personally, I understand that, Jason Garrett didn't intend for that play to happen. I understand that Pettis held on to the ball a little bit longer. That throw was kind of off, but I didn't like that Daniel Jones catch. I like it. I get it. Why it's exciting, but the guy just came off a concussion, and I just it was uncomfortable seeing that.
If that's Kadarius Toney throwing the ball, it's not that bad of a pass.
It's not
He's
that
not
bad.
going to
That's
take
what it
that
was.
hit.
That's what I'm thinking it was. Because
Daniel Jones.
I didn't like that.
Daniel Jones kind of. Dante Pettis said Daniel Jones like slowed down,
He
and then like
did.
had to speed
He
up.
slowed down.
He slowed down. All right, so it wasn't supposed to look like that, and I know the safeties got around pretty quick as well.
I'm not gonna if Daniel Jones kept going, it might have been inside like the 10.
Hey, I'll be right back.
He could have got it to like inside the 20.
Sounds Gucci. Yeah, just when I seen him take that hit, and he kind of reached for it too, and I know it was pretty bad. So I know they didn't execute. It wasn't ran as executed. I'm happy that set up the touchdown drive that gave us momentum, but I just didn't like seeing that. Getting back to the Chiefs real fast, I think we're gonna be in this game, but it's gonna be close. It's gonna be a close game. I think it can be a close game, just based off the Chiefs defense, the Chiefs offensive line, and Patrick Mahomes really not playing to his best of his abilities right now. But at the end of the day, I can't get super comfortable with this defense just yet.
Yeah. But Zion,
I get it. What is that, champ?
Look, the key is play Quincy Roche and Aziz as the edge. Start them at edge. Because you see when they start, they actually produce more than Carter and O'Shea Jimenez.
Mm-hmm. That is true, but it's just as a whole, as a team, they play with a lot of heart, and if that continues, and we might have a chance. But right now, I'm still kind of playing that middle ground, and I know it sucks because I don't mean to play that middle ground, but it's tough, It's if we show up the way we showed up against Carolina.
Yeah, well, the thing is the Saints defense is a hell of a lot better than Kansas City's.
Yeah, but
because going into that Saints game, nobody thought we was going to beat them because Saints was like a top 10 defense in the league.
And not only that, the Panthers defense is better than Kansas City's. So I don't understand how this,
I'm done with that.
Mahomes has just been built up to the point of he's superhuman.
Yeah, I mean, like we all seen last year's Super Bowl where it's like you don't have an offensive line, it's hard to win a game in the NFL. We've seen it our whole time being Giants fans,
They only have one more win than we do.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, Joe, I'm actually gonna call this on Monday. Throw it deep to John Ross for another touchdown.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen. I mean, we've got to, is the offensive line going to hold up? Because if you look at last Sunday, we should have had a 50-yard completion to Slayton for a touchdown, but it didn't happen because the offensive line couldn't block for more than a second. So then Jones got crushed and had to throw the ball deep, and he missed him.
And remember, against Washington, he had the 50-yard touchdown, but he dropped it though.
Well, this one he didn't even have a chance to drop because the offensive line couldn't block.
Do you guys believe that the Cardinals are for real and can they win a Super Bowl? And yeah, you guys can ask any question about the NFL. I think right now, obviously, it's too early to tell if they can win a Super Bowl. And right now, I want to see. Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I want to see this team in the playoffs. I want to see this team in the playoffs because the playoffs is a whole different animal. And they're looking really good. They're beating really good teams. And the thing is, they have an offense. Obviously, they have a defense. And the one thing I like about Arizona right now is they have Hopkins, but they're feeding everybody.
Well, here's the problem.
Kirk is getting balls.
If the road goes through Green Bay, they're going to have a hard time throwing that ball in December, January, in that cold ass weather, minus 10, 20 degree wind chill. They're not going to be able to throw the ball. So that's going to stop a lot of what they're doing right now. Can they be a ground and pound game and tough out?
And here's the thing too.
And don't forget about the Rams
too. They have the Rams. They beat the Rams,
Yeah. The
at this
Rams
point,
could get the mojo back with Matthew Stafford in the
real fast.
playoffs.
But at this point, if they keep on continuing the way they have been playing, they've been playing good fundamental football. They have Edmonds, they have Connor as the running backs. They're good catching backs out of the backfield as well. They have stud receivers, and if you look at the defense, they got Baker, one of the fastest safeties in the league. They have good cornerbacks. If they keep this road up, the one thing that the Steelers did not have last year is they didn't have a running game, and then even after they had a running game, but they never really got it. They got injured, so the defense got injured, so they fell out. If the Cardinals continue the way they've been playing, the road might go through Arizona. And if the road goes through Arizona, then maybe that's possible that they can. But right now, it's too early to tell. And I'm going to agree with Joel saying if they have to go to Green Bay in the cold, that's going to be tough. And even what Jaden said, if they have to go to the Rams, SoFi, that's going to be tough, because the Rams are an experienced playoff team. I know it's funny saying, but they are. The Rams, it's not no St. Louis Rams no more. And I get it, they won into 2000s. But at the end of the day, this generation Rams, that's going to be a tough playoff team. That's a team that been there before. That's a coach that won a Super Bowl before, that been to two, So that's going to be a tough out if they have to go through the Rams. And obviously, we all know what Green Bay does in the playoffs. Miz is actually big on Green Bay taking it all this year, aren't you, Miz?
Yeah. I got them going to the Super Bowl in August against the Baltimore Ravens.
Well, they're playing Thursday night, isn't it? The Cards in Green Bay.
It is, but Green Bay. I heard Adams, and now another receiver has the COVID, so they're not going to have their depth.
I'm going to be calling that game on my channel Thursday night.
Oh, come on. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a great game.
We're not worried about Dallas in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's one thing I'm not worried about. Dallas right now, it's nice.
Dallas is going to lose in the first round.
Yeah, we're really tough back end of the schedule. And even at that, the defense is playing good. But if you ask me, Dallas is still a big question.
Well, you figure it's going to be the first team's going to get a bye, so you figure that's either going to be Green Bay or Arizona is going to probably get the bye. So that means Dallas would be the number 4 seed. So 2 would play 7, 3 would play 6, and 4 would play 5. So whoever's going to be the 5th seeds, and right now that looks like the Saints have a really good shot of being there because they're the best team in that 5 spot right now. I mean, there might be another team there that I'm not thinking of. There is another team I'm not thinking of. There's another team I'm not thinking of right now that's really good.
Can you say that one more time for the? You talking about the NFC?
Yeah, the NFC, because you're going to have Green Bay and Arizona. They're going to probably make it.
Yeah, you got Green Bay, you got Arizona, you got the Buccaneers, you got the Rams, you got the Cardinals, and then everything up is up for grabs at that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, Dallas is going to wind up playing the 5th seed.
So, but still, we don't know what's going to go down with the Saints. I think the Saints can be that team based on just Sean Payton and if they get it together. But one thing about Arizona,
do you believe in James Winston though?
There's one game that I want to see because this is I know they lost 2 games, but this is the team that I think could actually take it, go to the Super Bowl in the Buffalo Bills. If this is the Arizona Cardinals matchup against the Bills anytime this season, I have to look at that. I don't think so, but
Arizona.
Yes.
How about the Titans? Because the Titans on a little winning streak.
That's AFC.
Well, I would say the Vikings, Jeffrey, but the last 3-4 weeks of the year, they always poop out. They fall apart.
Team, but yeah, they fall apart. The defense is good. The offense is good. They have players on both sides of the ball, but yeah, they fall out.
I mean, ever since Diggs left and went to Buffalo, they just really haven't. I mean, last year they kind of faded out there towards the end. I don't have a lot of faith in Kirk Cousins over there. I just don't. As a fan perspective, I mean, he's going to win you games during the season, but you're going to be 9-8, 10-7. Yeah, he does flame out. That's the only problem. I mean, I would love to pick the Vikings, but I mean, there's no reason, if we beat Kansas City, that would give us a real hide to play the Raiders. The Raiders have a really, really good pass rush.
Yes.
But we saw Philadelphia run the ball on them that first drive. Philadelphia really ran the ball down their throat. So do they have a good run defense? If we can somehow have a running game against the Raiders, I mean, we might be able to control the clock and maybe pull that one out.
We've also have to stop Darren Waller too.
Well, here's the thing, though. Okay, John Gruden's not there no more. They're running a different offense, and there's only been a couple of weeks of film, and we all know how important that is when you're game planning against a team.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a new coach running a little bit of a different offense than what Gruden would run, because I went into a couple of Raiders live streams. I'm scouting. I'm the enemy. I go in, I watch everybody's, YouTube streams, and, they're feeling that the Giants could be a trap game for them. And they're like, there's no way we should lose to the Giants, but it might be a trap game because the following week, I believe they have a divisional game.
Mm-hmm.
And I get it. Yes, the Raiders are better than we thought, but if you look at the playing style when they were under Gruden compared to now, it's night and day.
But were they really better than we thought, Joe? Like, yeah, they've been playing good football, but if you look at it, like here, I just pulled up. Like, they won against the Steelers, the Dolphins, the Broncos, the Eagles, the Ravens. Like, they're losing against the Chargers, the Bears. It's like, if you look at these teams' records, that like the Steelers are not really doing anything good. The Dolphins are really not doing anything good. The Broncos, obviously, that's a divisional game, so we can't count that. But the Eagles, obviously. But if you think about it, like I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's just it. I mean, if we could win those next two going into our bye, and then if we did, we're probably going to lose to Tampa Bay, but we would still be up because the Giants always suck. I don't care if we went 14-2. Okay, we lose after the bye. It happens every friggin' year. We can go back 50 years for this one. We come off the bye, we play like dog shit. So, but if we can win Kansas City and Oakland going into the bye week, we're 4-5. We're right there, really. We could pull that 7th seed off because after the bye week, we got Tampa Bay, but then we've got the Eagles twice. We got the Bears. We got the Dolphins. We got, the Washington football team. I mean, the Chargers is going to be the tough game in that second half of the schedule.
We're not winning that game.
Real fast. I'm gonna let you guys finish. But as Steve, as the Raiders fans, I agree with Jeffrey. But I have to say, Renfro and Darren Waller, I like them. They're players. I mean, like, I don't know. Every time I watch the Raiders game this season, obviously Darren Waller was out last game. But Renfro, number 13, he's been making plays. He actually did that nice route, the red zone route that actually Cooper Kupp took from him and used it. But it was a nice, clean route that him and John Gruden developed in the offseason, and he executed it. I believe it wasn't on Ramsey, or it was on someone. But yeah, he's gonna be a good player for you guys. I like Renfro. Continue, guys. I'm sorry.
Look, you got let's just for argument's sake, you lose the Chiefs and the Tampa game. Okay, let's just say you lose those games. And in the middle, you get a game that you have to get because you lost the game sandwich. So you got the Raiders at home. The Raiders are a real good team, but they're traveling across the country, play us on a 1 o'clock game, which is really 10 in the morning for their body time. So you could get the Raider game. Then you got the Eagles twice. That's 2. Let's say you get the Raider game. Now you got 3 wins now. We have 3 wins. We beat the Raiders. Let's just say, just for argument's sake.
Right.
Eagles twice. Okay, Bears, Miami, that's 4. Washington, 5. Dallas, 6. I'm missing one somewhere, but I'm going to just say we're not going to win the Charger game. Same reason like the Raiders. We're going out west.
We go 7-1.
You can win. We can win 7. Giants can still win 7. The Giants could still win 8 games this year, man. That's what Carl Banks was saying.
Yes.
And you gotta assume we're gonna get healthier as we go. So
right.
If we could
That's
put
why
8
you
games
can't
in
throw
and
away.
I'll be good.
Hey, we might match up better with Tampa Bay because if we get Thomas back, we have Barkley healthy, we have Tony healthy, we have Galladay healthy.
Much better.
We have
we match up with Tampa in general. We saw it last year.
Well, we got to get a win or two out of this next two.
That's what I'm saying. And the next 2 go 1-1. You got to win the Raider game. That's going to be the game, man.
I don't think about it too. That's the Raiders coming off of their bye week.
No, as positive as we want to be, man, and you want to feed off this win last week and think that things have turned around. I'm just being honest. It's not rational. The Giants, I'm not saying we're not going to win, but most likely we're not winning this game in Kansas City, man. I hope people don't come out of that game all blow up the organization again and all that garbage, okay? Don't expect wonders like in 1 week. The Giants is a growing progress. It's going to take time. So you lose that game, come home and beat the Raiders. It's okay, man. Live another week.
Yeah, but I can't help it. You know how you had that feeling last week about Carolina. I got that feeling about Kansas City.
Oh, believe me,
I have a funny feeling.
We could come out and win this Kansas City game and then come out and get demolished against the Raiders.
You know what? If we beat Kansas City, that would be a benchmark win for this first half of the season, and I think that would take a lot of pain away.
If we beat Kansas City, that's a we turn the corner win right there.
We could be on a high. We could be on a high.
Good point.
That could be the turn of a corner team. We could be on a high, and we could take that emotions and get smashed against the Raiders. You know what I'm saying? So I just want this team just to come out there and give us good football. That's what I want. Consistent football. Even if we lose the game by 7, we lose the game by 3. Even all 3 games coming up, Tampa, Oakland. I just want to see us compete. Because if this team competes, then we can have hope going forward, right?
Oh, I think we will compete with Kansas City, but it might just be way too much to ask for 4 quarters. They might pull away halfway through the 4th, and win the game, still win the game by 10. It doesn't mean that we didn't give them all they can handle,
Yeah.
We have to really control the time of possession clock. We got to have a good 5-8 minutes.
How can we do that without a real run game? How can we do that? How do you control a clock without a ground game?
We did it last week.
Can we set up more things with can we give
we might not have had a ground game, but we still had 100 yards rushing.
Can we give Ross some reverses? Can we do more things?
Hell no.
Receivers in the one game?
You shush with that reverse crap.
No.
The only time they do that, it's at the goal line. Shush.
Yeah, but that's Ingram, Joel. I'm just saying, get these receivers involved because give Gary a chance or something. Just
we need Tony back if you want that type of game, bro.
Yeah, true,
if you want those end arounds and those screens, we need Tony.
Yeah.
True.
But
because Tony can be a threat throwing the ball too.
The Giants are going to have to come up with some turnovers.
I don't want to see RPOs anymore, Jeffrey. Maybe I just don't. I like the threat of it. And if it's wide open, take it. But God damn it, DJ's got to learn to slide. I'm tired of him getting hit. He can't take these hits.
He's not going to slide, man. He's too big. He just wants to he can run over somebody.
You know what? Gotta slide, man.
Gotta talk about Daniel Jones taking too many hits.
Yeah.
No, it's all about the Chiefs game, and if Jones runs a lot, he's got to learn how to slide instead of trying to barrel over people.
Yeah, that's just something that's built into him, man. He's a big guy. He wants to win really bad, so he tries to make the most out of every situation, and that gets him hit a lot.
Well, you know what it is?
What it
is he wants to prove that he's not better than anybody else. And he's asking his receivers to do stuff. He said when he caught that pass, he says, you know what? I couldn't let it hit the ground. He says, I hollered at guys when they come back to the huddle and they drop passes. So I can only imagine what I was going to get if I dropped that pass. That's what it is he just wants to be,
lead by example.
look, everybody else is laying it on the line. I'm going to lay it on the line too. But he has to learn he's our quarterback.
I think Jones hears all the whispers of people making fun of him, and he's not that good, and all this shit, and he's funny looking, and he's got a chip on his shoulder, and he's not going to slide. He wants to run over someone and make somebody an abuse case on ESPN that night. He's out to prove something. He's got a chip on his shoulder. I'm telling you.
Tired of the memes.
And I don't mind that. That's a good thing, man.
It is. Gives him heart and
It's also
drive.
very hard for a big man like that who runs that fast to just suddenly slide smoothly. That's a big fall, man. I'm telling you. He's a big guy. He's bigger than he looks. People, I'm telling you, I heard people that were near him, and they said the guy towers over people.
That's what a lot of people say. And Steve will have Barkley back for the Raiders, but not for Kansas City.
Yeah, Barkley. I'm in favor of keeping him out into the Buccaneers game, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't think you're going to see Barkley till after the bye. That's an extra.
I don't know,
2
man.
weeks.
I think we could run on the Raiders, and I think Barkley could be that weapon to let us pull that win out. Because, look, I mean, Philadelphia ran.
Joe.
The heck is send a pass rusher?
You don't want to
Philadelphia
re-injure
ran
him for the rest of the year. So,
Dude, if he passes the physicals and protocols, play him.
I think we have a chance. I think we have a chance against the Raiders, but that's looking too far ahead, huh? But I really do. I think we do. But looking at the Chiefs, I think it's going to be a close game. Hopefully, it's a close game. If our defense comes out and they play like they played,
I want to be up 10 with 2 minutes to go. Are you kidding me? I don't want it close.
I think we all do. We all do. Looking at it, hopefully we can take advantage of who's not going to be out on the field when it comes to their defense. I know they've been struggling a lot too, and if we pick off where we left off, it should be a good game. But knowing the Giants, they never pick off where they left off, so that's why I'm nervous at.
young team.
Like 1 week we're getting smashed, and then the next week we're showing up, and then I want to see this consistently, like we were just talking about.
Well,
I want to see it on a consistent basis.
I brought it up earlier, Zion. I'm going to ask you guys the same thing. Do you think, we all said that Judge made a mistake playing Jones last week in the blowout to the Rams. Maybe, and Jones came out against Carolina like, that didn't even happen. You think that, Judge actually did the right thing and left Jones out there to take that whooping?
Nope. Because Jones didn't need to take that ribbon. He'd been taking that ribbon since he got drafted.
You know what?
Look
at the way he played, my guy.
But look how the way he's been playing.
Yeah.
He's been playing like that since week 2. So it's kind of like you left him out there to die, basically. What is that? What is that teaching him?
Sometimes you need a whooping, man. I mean,
do you really? He's the one that's actually playing. If anyone needed ripping, it's the defense.
Hey.
The thing is, the Rams is a different animal, man. The Rams are on a whole nother level. We're not on that level.
Yeah.
That's why
Detroit's on that level.
Even Sean McVay, like felt sorry and put in the secondaries. Even Sean McVay was
and the second scored 10 points on us.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, what's the point of having your starting? I don't want to go back on it because that game's gone. But like, what's the point of having Daniel? That's the reason why I got so mad at at whatever his face is. Sorry, Judge after that game. That's why I was so mad at Judge after that game because what are you?
You know what? It was a learning experience, and if you don't want to go through it, you know what not to do. I can't help it. I'm from the old school Hard Knocks. Okay, I would get the same treatment. It didn't matter how hard I was struggling. I was still thrown out there all the time until the end.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. They were playing a horrible O-line for the Giants. Had a horrible O-line. They had a horrible team that day. So
game plan.
And because you got beat up and abused, the media saying that the defense quit late in that game is what made this defense play so hard this week. So one game affects another.
I believe that was a totally different defense against the Panthers, man.
Listen, Jeffrey, the defense got a whooping when Carolina on their first drive at 4th and 1 said, okay, we're going to try to draw them off sides and then snapped the ball and got the first down. Defense said enough of that horse shit.
Yeah, they disrespected us right there.
Yep.
I think Carolina started off against not so good teams, and they got ahead of themselves, and they got to their
Well,
heads.
they had C-Mac and they had their weapons and
And
they were healthy.
obviously CMC. But even if you look at their schedule, like they really didn't play the best team starting off, and
No, they didn't.
I think they kind of got ahead of themselves in a bit, and even forget who signed. I don't want to say Mosley, but someone just signed there in free agency, and he was like, "Oh, I knew he was gonna take off." But I remember seeing an interview like week 3 when there was 3-0. He's all like, "I knew he was gonna take off, but I didn't know it was gonna be this good. We're looking like an elite defense. We're looking this the players saying that." And I think they got to their head, and then they got exposed against Dallas, and then
I really believe they were just playing crappy teams in the beginning. And you
Yeah,
know what?
that's-
I'm glad
exactly.
we did what they did to him because Matt Rule
exactly.
said that he was going to come out there
Yeah.
and run it straight down our throats. And our defense
Yeah.
said, hell no.
He talks shit during the week. Exactly, bro.
Absolutely.
So that lets me know that
Absolutely.
this defense has the heart to go out there and play.
Yep.
I don't know why
Because we
the
were
guys
playing
talking
that bad.
shit.
We were playing that bad where a head coach comes out in the media and says, we're just going to run it down their throat.
That's crazy,
We were
right?
playing that bad. And I'm glad they showed up and showed out.
Absolutely.
Sam is not good, man. Okay, all right. You could be good when you have a McCaffrey, but without him, he's not good.
Yeah, McCaffrey opened up everything for Darnold.
Exactly. So who's Donald
And
without
that's
that?
why.
He's nothing.
That's why when Steve asked that question about Cardinals, like if they avoid getting injured, like the Cardinals, they've been beating good teams. They beat some bad teams, but they have at least 3 good teams that they beat. So if they keep it up, who knows? The road could go through,
They should win Thursday because
Phoenix.
the Packers are going to miss
It could go
players.
through Phoenix, but I think it's too early to tell on the Cardinals just yet. But I think the Cardinals is like, I'm not just saying it from the record. I'm saying it because they beat the Rams. I believe they beat the Browns, and I believe they
They're
beat
good.
another horde team. I think
They're
they're
for
the
real.
best team in the NFL. I think right now they're the best team, and not only because they're 7-0, but when you stop teams like they've been stopping teams. I mean, like they didn't just win by 3 against the Rams. I believe they won by like it was like 10 or 17. I could go back and look at it, but the Cardinals are playing good football.
They're going to win Thursday too, man. Packers are not going to have Adams. They have another receiver now that just got COVID tonight. And the game's in Arizona. And the game's in Arizona. That's a tipping point for me.
Yeah.
This Maryland
There is a
Minnesota
quarterback
game's
that
pretty
can pull it
good.
out.
They beat the Titans 38-13 week 1, and then they beat the Rams week 4 37-20, and then they beat the Browns week 6 37-14. The Titans, the Rams, and the Browns, some good teams.
And then they got Green Bay Thursday, and then they get a 10-day rest before they play the 49ers, who right now look a little bit lost. So, by the way,
Cardinals losing anytime soon.
Yeah, I
look
got
at
your
their schedule,
text,
you got
Miz. I got your
49ers,
text.
Panthers,
I got your text.
Rams
I got a
against
little,
Lions.
little note over here. Shanahan, Mr. Guru Coach of the country that everyone says, when you take him out of those 2 Super Bowl runs, right? In all the other seasons, he's 36-18. 18-36. That's garbage.
Who's that?
Shanahan.
Kyle
Shanahan.
Shanahan.
And he's having a hard time right now.
I believe he's an offensive coordinator.
Sean McVay is 41-0 with leading at the half.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
And by the way, I'm going to give you another little stat that you guys are not going to like at all. Okay? BJ Hill has 7 sacks for the Cincinnati Bengals.
BJ Hill has 7 sacks.
For
Listen,
the
man,
Cincinnati
that
Bengals.
Cincinnati
He is
team
balling out
is-
and headed to a Pro Bowl.
That Cincinnati defense is.
That's a team that's shocking everybody
Giants
right
never
now,
gave
too,
him
huh?
a fair chance to start.
Sure
man. They
didn't.
never gave him
Because his
playing
rookie
time.
year, he had like 4 sacks, didn't he?
So we have to develop some young guys and maybe draft another one, but we let 2 guys go. Maybe the BJ Hill is worse than the
I
Thomason
think-
because he's not
I
making
think
a
what
big
it-
buck at all.
Real fast. I think what it is, Steve, is they talked about it last game too, and I kind of agreed with them. I forget his name was. I just had his name. Ayuk or whatever his damn name is.
Ayuk.
Brandon Ayuk.
Ayuk
Yeah,
is
doghouse.
not performing to the way he was supposed to perform, and I
They're
think
not
the
giving him the
defense is
ball.
not
He's
showing.
only
I'll be
going
right
two
back.
times a game.
Yeah,
I heard
Yeah.
him and the coach are not getting along. He's been
yeah,
in the
that's what it
doghouse for
was,
like
something
5
like
weeks.
that. Yeah, and
Last
the
year, that guy was
defense-
a weapon last year. Big time.
Yeah, I'm surprised that I'm not surprised on how bad they're doing because they are in a tough division, but they've been playing tough teams too, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, let me pull up San Francisco's schedule. What is San Francisco's schedule? Because they haven't
I
been
know, but the
playing.
problem there is this, because my friend's a diehard Niner fan, and all he spoke about all summer was he guaranteed the Niners are going to the Super Bowl. Nobody's stopping them. And I said, relax, it's a long season. The 49ers, okay, Jimmy G is finished, all right? And the coach doesn't like him. And if you put the rookie in, you're not going to a Super Bowl this year with a rookie. So that derails your season also. So it's a problem.
Too.
And their defense ain't playing like it did 2 years ago.
That's
And Kittles is out again. Kittles is injured.
Kittles is out. That's the third thing too. Yep.
Plus, they're arguably in the best division in football, right?
Yep. They are in the best division in football.
Pat,
They have five teams.
Pat's
five
going to go to
teams in the
sleep
last-
tonight, and he's going to be thinking about that BJ Hill stat. I know it. I see it in his eyes, man.
in the last 10 years. In the last 10 years, out of that division, they had 5 teams represent them in the Super Bowl.
Yo, when I heard the stat today
got
for
the
BJ
Rams.
Hill, man, I sat there like wanted to throw up, man. I couldn't believe that, man.
The
Yeah,
Cardinals
and we
was
traded him
just
for
there,
Billy
and
Price.
San Francisco was just there.
Billy Price. What the fuck?
Yeah, that's why I said what I said the other day. We're not developing our talent.
Why did they let him go? I mean, he's not even getting a lot of money at all.
They used him as a trade piece to get Billy Price.
Oh my god, that's called panic.
Didn't they?
Yep.
They lose another guy too. I forgot his name.
And then really because they weren't playing him.
Yeah.
They weren't playing him.
DeForest Buckner. That's who they lost.
Yeah. Yeah, but they decided to let him go because they drafted Kinlaw. Kinlaw is a beast himself.
Jimmy G is overrated. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, he's not overrated. He's just done over there. He won't be there next year. So
No, he'll be a backup somewhere next year. He might be back on the Patriots.
Joe, they're talking about your guy, Steve Baxter.
Yeah, Joe, they talking about your
that
favorite
coach,
coach.
Shanahan never
Jimmy G's
forgive
number one
Jimmy
supporter.
G. Shanahan
What's
never
wrong?
forgive Jimmy G for overthrowing that wide open receiver to win the Super Bowl. He never forgave him. That's the truth.
Yeah, Marino never won a Super Bowl either.
Yeah, maybe not, but that's what's going on there. So he's got to move on. They drafted the kid who's not going to really be ready right away. It's going to take 2-3 years. So that's why I don't see the Niners, And that's a tough division, man. Very hard division. Do you see
I'll
the
tell you.
Rams, Arizona falling off? in the
I was
next few
gonna
years?
say you have it's a tough division, and then even you could just say the Rams. It's a tough division. Then you add in what Carolina, the Cardinals are doing. I mean,
That's
damn,
all right.
you know?
Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be a Philadelphia Eagle next year.
By the way, Seattle's
What's on
Seattle's not bad either because as you see in every game without Wilson, they've been right there. So you get Wilson back, they're gonna make their run. Talk about a 7 seed, Seattle will be right there.
Well, you want to see some Jimmy G? No, I can't. I got Giants gear on. I can't be doing that. I can't be doing that. All right, now I'm watching Maryland at Minnesota. This is a pretty good game.
No, Daniel Jones, baby. He's
That's
showing
right.
you that he can carry a team of players that are not his starters. That tells you a lot about a guy.
Mm-hmm.
Right, Pat? Tell
I
me.
have to.
Jones is showing you a lot of character here. Even the haters are quiet this week. You notice? All the haters, they're not saying nothing.
Yeah, I told y'all he's going to be a top 10 quarterback this year, and I got laughed at hard. That's why I'm having a celebratory drink right now.
I got to give it to
because they grade him so hard, even though he doesn't even have half the people that he's supposed to have on the field.
Right.
And it's been like this throughout his whole career. It's not his fault. People keep following the injuries. He's out there playing with He's not even playing with his top 3 receivers or his running back. That's crazy. He's got practice squad people out there he's playing with.
Practice squad, hell, they're not even that. They're XFL players.
And he's managing a good game, and he's throwing very accurate, very good passes, you know?
And you know what? It's nice going into next year knowing we're not going to have to worry about a quarterback, because I'll tell you what, I've been watching Philly 500 and Joey Shakes and a bunch of the other content creators, and they are like really upset because there's nobody coming out in this draft like a Joe Burrow or a Trevor Lawrence.
Too, because Jalen Hurts is their quarterback.
And by the way, Giants fans,
I
y'all
like
remember
it.
that tank for Tua talk, and now Miami's thinking about getting rid of Tua for Watson. Oh yeah. So be careful what y'all wish for, man.
Be careful what you wish for. They wanted Sam Darnold instead of Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
You imagine what it would be like if we had Sam Darnold?
We wouldn't have Jones.
No, I'm very happy with Jones. I really am.
Yeah, Sam Darnold or Josh Rosen.
He just needed more time to work with. You know, look, okay, I got killed on Twitch yesterday. I was on with Pest. He invited me onto his Twitch stream, and they were like, well, who do you compare? You know, what's Daniel Jones's ceiling? Now, mind you, his ceiling. And I said Andrew Luck, and I got blitzed. But there was 4 of us in there, but the one other guy agreed with me. And I'm going to tell you why I believe Andrew Luck is his ceiling. Because they're both athletic. Now, Andrew Luck had a much stronger arm. But they both throw the deep ball well. They both can read a defense. You know, Andrew Luck went to Stanford, who was ranked number 8th in the country at the time when he came out, right? They were a top 10 program, if I'm not mistaken. And Daniel Jones went to Duke. Okay, so yeah, he played against the ACC competition, but he never had the stars or the studs to play with him. He never threw to good wide receivers. He never had a good offensive line. He had a lot more to learn.
Anybody on those teams that was with Dame.
But he had so much more to learn, and it just took him another year. Okay, you know, look at Lamar. Took him 3 years. Josh Allen took him 3 years. This is Daniel Jones's 3rd year. Okay, look what he's doing. In week 2, we thought he was excellent. Week 3, we thought he was better than excellent. Week 4, he's been steadily improving. Okay, you know what? Yeah, he did lose to the Rams. We got blown out. But remember, football is a team sport. It's not one guy can change anything. But you know, look at who gets to play on what team and what. I mean, we're sitting there killing this guy from Duke, and people want this Malik Willis guy. And I mean, people don't even know where the college is without looking at Google. You know?
Wait, hold on. They're chatting Malik Willis?
But, you know, Malik Willis might be a good quarterback in the league, but it's going to take him 2 or 3 years, too.
Yeah, it is.
You know, he's going to be a project.
I can't agree with you a little bit on that about his ceiling being Andrew Luck. But, man, Andrew Luck was a talent.
He was.
Andrew Luck was a dog.
Andrew Luck was on pace to be like, I'm sorry, people might hate me. You can slay me in the comments. Andrew Luck was on pace to be like some Peyton Manning type stuff.
Yeah,
yes, he was.
Yeah,
so I can agree with you, but then I can disagree with you on that.
Of course. There's always a second, you know.
I can never think of Daniel Jones being like an Andrew Luck type quarterback. I think that's way, way too high because of what
little bit, maybe like a 2 tiers above him, just for now.
What Andrew Luck did during his career was dynamite. Like
he had double.
He was the
but that's the schooling.
That's the only thing the coach had at that point in time was Andrew Luck and T.Y. Hilton. That was it. And his offensive line was just as bad as Daniel Jones's. Just might have been worse because that kid was taking hit after hit. He had to retire because of it.
I hate when people, Pat, don't you hate it when it's like, oh, because Andrew Luck held on the ball for too long. Bro, he didn't have a line. But yeah,
He sure didn't.
Right.
And he
Same-
consistently had the Colts 11-5, 12-4, 11-5. So
But they also had a really good
that-
defense.
Who? The Colts?
Yeah. The
Colts
Colts had
defense wasn't that good.
Yeah, but they were average. You know, they kept them in games. They weren't getting blown out, and that
But
would
he
let
doesn't-
Andrew Luck
but-
come back.
You don't remember that Chiefs game in the playoffs?
Ah,
And he came back, they was like 20-something down, and he brought them back.
yeah.
Well, the defense had to have something to do with it, my guy.
That's true, but
You
Andrew
know,
Luck was a dog.
You know
Man.
what Jones remind me of? A mobile.
Yeah, that's why
Eli
I'm so
Manning.
high on Watson, because look what Watson did with Houston. What was he going to say?
but you know, you're still
Jones
you're
is Eli
seeing,
Manning
you know,
all over again.
look at last week when he was when Daniel was rolling out, when he was standing in the pocket, he was standing tall in the pocket. I mean, that's the stuff Andrew Luck would do.
That's true.
But because Stanford was
Yeah.
such a better school and he had better players and he had a better coach. I mean, Daniel Jones's college coach was the coach that was the quarterback's coach for Tennessee and Ole Miss when Eli and Peyton Manning were in school. And I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
Cutcliffe.
What's his
I
name?
think
Bob?
His name Cutcliffe.
if
Yeah,
his
Cutler.
son
Why
Watson,
drip?
if I don't know if any, because it's like crickets with his case right now and his 22 charges. But if any of that gets cleared out and he plays again in the league, any team he signs to that has decent wide receivers and a good defense can make a run. That's how I mean. Like I'm just a believer in Watson. The guy's a baller.
Go be Miami
So if he signs with the
or
Broncos,
maybe Carolina.
Miami,
Oh,
Carolina, any team with decent ribbons and pretty good defense. Like
Now,
Broncos,
see,
if
to
he's-
me, Deshaun
Yeah.
Watson has this same problem with a lot of other quarterbacks is they inflate their numbers because of the fourth quarter. They're losing by 14, 17 points.
Now, wait a minute,
So-
Joe.
But hold on,
I'm just
Joe.
Wait a
just
minute.
saying.
Don't disrespect Watson like
Wait a
that.
minute. Deshaun Watson's the truth, boy.
He's the truth.
I-
He's been running for
You
for
Yeah,
every
yeah.
single
I mean,
Yeah,
he does have 4 rings, doesn't he?
Bro,
Come on, Joe.
I mean,
The Houston Texans, bro.
Joe. Right
You
This
now,
better
man
hope
literally had
Joe.
this
if-
man
what you
literally
want.
had nothing with the Houston Texans and still led the league in passing yards.
I hope
Well,
he goes
you
to
know what?
Carolina.
Jalen Hurts is leading the league in fantasy football points.
Okay.
Does that mean I want him too?
Okay,
Joe.
answer me this, Joe, because whatever you got in that glasses must be pretty good.
It is
No.
Grand Marnier, man. This is real tasty stuff.
You tell me this: you put Deshaun Watson on the Washington football team, are they a playoff team?
Yes.
If you put Deshaun Watson, no, that
Absolutely.
defense is playing like ass.
If you put Deshaun Watson, listen to me closely.
I did.
You put Deshaun Watson over there with the Washington football team, are they a playoff team right now?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
Hell yeah.
You know why, Joe?
Say,
You know why, Joe? Because when Tom Brady came to Tampa, it elevated Tampa because that's Tom Brady. It elevated that defense to play better. If Watson goes to Washington, that defense is playing better just because he's.
if you put
Oh,
Deshaun
no.
Watson with the Broncos right now,
Oh, forget
do
it.
you think they lose to the Browns that game?
No.
No.
They win 11 games.
I didn't
The
watch it,
Browns
so I
beat them
don't
with
know.
None of their starters really in there. You think they lose that game with Deshaun Watson?
I didn't watch it, so I have no idea.
Oh, no, wait a minute. That might have been me.
Later, David.
Yeah, that was you and Lou. I fell
I'll call
asleep.
you later.
I'll tell you this. You put Deshaun Watson on the Bears right now.
On the Bears?
Well,
Oh my
They
God,
win
he's going
by
to have the
game.
same numbers that he had with the Texans, and it's going to be the same record, 4-12.
Hey, man, you're going to have to put some respect on Deshaun Watson's name.
Well, no,
Well, I was gonna say that the Bears missed the boat. They should have went after Watson. Perfect, perfect connection right there.
I'll tell you this.
Man.
You put Deshaun Watson on the Colts.
look,
You don't think the Colts
that-
are a better team?
that's the
No,
wonderful thing about football is we can all agree to disagree. You know, I'm just telling you what I see.
You put Deshaun Watson on the 49ers right now.
No, you ain't replacing my guy Jimmy G.
I bet you Kyle Shanahan would take Watson over Jimmy G
Yeah,
any day of the week.
probably.
And I give you one even better. You put Deshaun Watson on the Patriots right now, the Patriots look like the old Patriots. I guarantee they only have about 1 or 2 losses this year.
No.
Max.
They were saying
Max.
that before Cam Newton got there. Cam Newton got there, and it didn't work too well there either.
Deshaun Watson's a totally different quarterback than Cam
Yeah,
Newton. And Cam Newton didn't get a
levels.
fair shot out there. He didn't have nothing out there last year with the Patriots. You put Cam Newton on this team, I believe they're a better team.
I can't until he shows it, proves it, whatever.
What do you mean shows it?
He's already proven that with the worst franchise in history. Quarterbacks right now.
The only time he missed
Did
the
they or
playoffs
did they
was
not
the
go to the
Texans when they
playoffs?
got rid of everybody.
Did they or did they not go to the playoffs?
The Texans?
Last year?
Yes.
Who
Not
was on the
last year,
Texans?
year before.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, how'd they do?
They lost to the eventual Super Bowl champions, the Chiefs.
There you go. Okay.
And had a 28-point lead. I'm not like a 21-point lead.
There you go. Okay.
The year before that, they made the playoffs. The year before that, they made the playoffs. The year before that, they made the playoffs. When it was him and Hopkins, DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
They took everything away from him, man.
I know they were a real good team. I remember. That's why I asked how'd they do.
Okay,
he wasn't really a good team.
Do you consider Deshaun Watson a top 10 quarterback in this league?
Top 5. Joe?
Can I say? Oh, I'm getting two different questions here.
Okay,
know
Deshaun Watson. How many quarterbacks in the league you can say that are better than Deshaun Watson? And I want you to name them.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick Mahomes.
I'll give you Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
See, I'll tell
Josh Allen's better.
I'll still take.
You think Josh Allen is better than Deshaun Watson?
Well,
it's your opinion. You're entitled to it. For me, I'll put Watson over
I don't
Jackson
understand why you're
Josh.
coming at me so hard, because I stated I don't think.
You don't think that?
What about
Deshaun
Russell
Watson's
Wilson?
the type of quarterback that can change your franchise?
Nah, I'll
around?
take Watson over Wilson. I'm sorry, even though Wilson is more proven, I'll still take Watson over Wilson.
I'm taking
if I'm
Deshaun
building a
Watson
franchise,
10 times over Matthew Stafford.
Yeah, I'm taking Watson.
What I'm trying to say to you is Deshaun Watson is not a normal quarterback. He's a franchise quarterback. You put him on any franchise, that franchise is going to turn around.
But the Texans weren't a good franchise. They weren't winning football games. They were in division hunts. They were in playoffs.
I hate saying this.
Serious?
I hate saying this, Joe. But
Am I wrong?
If Watson was drafted by the Cowboys when the Cowboys had a line, the Cowboys would have appeared in the Super Bowl.
Oh, the Cowboys would have won a Super Bowl with Deshaun Watson at quarterback.
Yeah, I didn't want to go that far, but
guarantee you they would have.
Yeah.
That dude is that type of player.
Yeah,
man.
I'm taking Watson over Joe Burrow. There's only 3 quarterbacks and probably 2 because Tom Brady's old. So there's probably only Aaron Rodgers and Patrick Mahomes that I'm going to put up. But Watson's in my
okay,
top
here's
5.
a better question for you. What about Deshaun Watson's game makes you believe that he's not a franchise type quarterback to where he can turn the team around? What about his game? What about him? Besides the stuff off the field with that crazy stuff, what about him makes you not think that he's not a franchise type quarterback?
Look, man, I mean, if what I'm saying is wrong, I mean, I'd like to be corrected, but did they go to the playoffs a couple years?
Here's the thing, Joel. We don't mean to
No, yes or no? Did they go to the playoffs?
Before Watson got there?
No,
they
after
never even
Watson.
sniffed the playoffs.
No, they sniffed the playoffs since Watson been gone. What? No.
They made the playoffs, I believe, 1 year when
I'll
Watson
look
was
it up
there,
for
yes.
you, Joe, just because I might be
1 year.
wrong.
Yeah, I'll look it up
Hold
too.
on. I'll look it up for
They
you.
only made the playoffs 1 year when Watson was there. Just because the base of the matter is Watson, yeah, he had 4 and 11. Like, yeah, I get it.
He
where
had
you're
one of the
coming from
best
because-
wide receivers.
True, but here's the
Okay,
thing, Joel.
they had bookend pass rushers.
Hold
They had a
on, Joel.
really good defense.
Outside of JJ Watt, they didn't really have anybody. Here's the thing, Joel.
They did. What do you mean they didn't have anybody? That one kid was damn good next to JJ Watt.
Clowney was overrated.
You know what? Say what you want. He was a top draft pick.
He was, but he's overrated, and Clowney.
Well, so is
was
Watson's overrated, but I'm not going to
But
argue with you over Clowney.
JJ Watt proved it. JJ Watt was. I get where you're coming from because that defense okay, I get where you're coming from. They had good playmakers on that defense, but when you watched Houston early on, when Watson got there on every single play, he was running for his life, and he was still planting his foot and making Patrick Mahomes type throws. And he was throwing to outside of Hopkins. He didn't really have that good of receivers. And like last year, he had Steals, and last year I believe he had a Will Fuller. He had Will Fuller throughout his years. But the thing is, on mostly every single play, the line was getting beat. When we seen the line get beat against Daniel Jones, when we seen the line get beat against Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl, both of them, I'm not trying to put Patrick Mahomes and Daniel Jones into the same sentence, but both of them, you know, got overrun. If you look at Watson was running for his life almost every single play. They had one of the worst lines in history for like the last 3 seasons. His first 3 seasons, they couldn't block to save their lines.
And where did this information come from?
Probably only the Cardinals in 2019.
Where did this worst offensive line in history information come from?
You look at who was blocking for him. Look at who was blocking for him.
David Carr was getting killed before him.
Like Houston was a losing franchise before that guy ever.
David Carr is nowhere even.
What he was able to
do. The Houston Texans
running for his life, Joel.
The Houston Texans made the playoffs 2 times before Watson was quarterback. That was in 2012 and 2011.
Right.
I forgot who was quarterbacking them at that time. I can't recall who was the quarterback at that time. But after that, they didn't do anything until they drafted Deshaun Watson.
Okay, what they do?
He's missed the playoffs 1 time his whole career being there.
Okay. So he's been there.
I think Deshaun Watson been there 4 years or 5 years.
All right,
he
so
drafted
he's been
in 17, so he's been there 4 years.
Yeah.
So he made the playoffs 3 years.
Yeah.
Okay. How is
so you're saying just
did they go deep into the
Super Bowl?
Did they go deep into the playoffs?
Yes. 1 year they made it to the divisional round. They lost to the Chiefs, and then the year before that they lost to the Bills.
Yeah.
No, they beat the Bills. Who did they lose to? Was it the Colts? I want to say it was the Colts with Andrew Luck first, and then they lost to the Chiefs.
They lost to the Colts. Yes. It was a championship game, right?
Well, they had to have a pretty damn good team then to be able to do that.
They didn't. That's why he's so special. When his first
God.
No, Joe, this is true. His first year in the league, people was calling him Michael Jordan because they had nobody and it was just him. Like, I'm not trying, like, if you think about it, okay, you can count
one person takes over the whole game.
He was. There's games that was losing, and he went out there and balled.
What about
out.
the other 10 people on the field?
Joel, I'm telling you, did you watch any Houston games back in like 2018, 19?
I had to have to know that they made the playoffs.
Those games in season where they're clearly out of the game. They're out of the game. And Deshaun Watson comes magically back in the fourth quarter and ends up winning the game for them.
Look at that game against the Bills when he brought them back and won that playoff game. That should tell you.
Jaden, my absolute favorite quarterback is Phil Simms, and my mind will never change on that.
Oh, that's cool. I mean, he's a giant. My favorite quarterback is Eli.
Right. No, Jaden was asking me Jimmy or Watson. My favorite quarterback was. Okay, break it down by quarter. Break down the yardage by quarters.
I don't know if you can break it down by the yardage, but we can go to the playoffs. Well, I just wanted to show you this right here. Look at his completion.
Break it down by quarters. I told you he gets fourth quarter yards because they were always behind us last year.
Double-digit interceptions 1 time in his career. That's crazy.
That's
he almost threw for 5,000 yards last year with that makeshift roster?
That's why it's so impressive, because that's what the Houston Texans.
And tell me how many yards he had passing in the first quarter, how many yards passing he had in the second.
I'll make a video on the channel about this.
Would you please? I want it broke down by quarters because
if I
anybody can throw up numbers on a 4-12 record
That's true.
Because look at Jalen Hurts right now. I told you he's leading in fantasy football points because he throws for 250, 300 yards in the fourth quarter.
Jalen Hurts too wins the ball. Like he wins the
But
ball.
did
And
you hear
obviously-
what I said?
But here's the thing, Jalen Hurts, everybody in
He
fantasy
throws
knows that
the
Jalen
ball
Hurts is going to be a
because they're
good
in a
fantasy
prevent
quarterback,
defense.
but it doesn't make you a good quarterback. Just because you're a good fantasy
You're
quarterback,
right.
that doesn't make
It
you a good
doesn't.
quarterback.
That's my
When
point.
Watson's first year in the league, he was putting up 50 points. He was Derrick Henry fantasies. Repeatedly 50 point next week, 50 points next week, 48 points next week, 36 points. But not only was he a good fantasy quarterback, you go look at the people he had blocking for him, the type of things he had to go through. That's why I'm holding him on the pedestal. You know what I'm saying? I'm not holding him on a pedestal because I just want to throw his name out there. I'm holding it on a pedestal because
he's been every year he's on another team. Every year.
He clearly had a bad situation, a bad team, and he was able to still make the best out of it. And that's why I hold him on a pedestal.
Yeah, they did lose to the Chiefs twice. So eventually he lost to the Super Bowl champ and the Super Bowl runner-up in the AFC in the playoffs. All I'm telling you is, Joe, this is not a Dak Prescott situation with this quarterback. I'm just telling you, that dude's on another level, bro. And
If he was at another level, he'd have the same things that Mahomes
Okay,
has.
let me ask you then. Okay, if
He doesn't
Patrick
have the
Mahomes
same
was on the
roster around him
Texans,
than Mahomes.
Patrick wouldn't be home. Patrick Mahomes. If Patrick Mahomes was on the Texans, got drafted by the Texans, it's easy to go with Tyreek Hill. I'm not taking any credit about Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes is one of the best quarterbacks in the league, and he proved it. But we also seen Patrick Mahomes without an offensive line in the Super Bowl. We also seen Patrick Mahomes. Look at him now. Is he breaking any records now? I'm not trying to be a dick. I'm just saying.
I'm not either.
You can't.
But
take
did he
Patrick
get
Mahomes.
what
You
offensive line did Mahomes get to the Super Bowl with in the second time?
But here's the
they
thing.
got injured before that Super Bowl.
Exactly. But so he had to win playoff games with that offensive
But
line.
if they switch places, Watson would take them to the Super Bowl too. Watson would have took the Chiefs to the Super Bowl. If they just Watson would have done that too.
I'm quite sure he could have done it too with that Chiefs roster at that time. I just know that kid's different. He's different. He's not a pad statter like you're saying that he is, like a stat pad. He's not like a Dak Prescott that gets most of his yards in the fourth quarter and all that. That guy is a legit.
I'm sorry to be a villain, play the villain, however you want to look at it. I just don't see it. I'm sorry.
Don't apologize. You're entitled to your own opinion.
Can't.
No, you Gucci, I'm sorry for taking it too long. We've been talking about Watson for the last 15
your
minutes.
judgment on a quarterback must be vicious. How can you like Jimmy Garoppolo like that, but not Deshaun Watson? I don't understand it.
Look, I told you guys the Garoppolo story. Do you need to hear it again? You all just came at me so hard. I had to defend myself on that. I was going down with the
I'll
ship.
give you a pass on that.
I
So
mean,
how
you
can
guys
quarterback-
crushed me. All I did was throw out a name. And it's like, what? You think? They said, no, I am.
If Deshaun Watson is not an elite quarterback, an elite game changer at quarterback, how many elite game changer quarterbacks are there in the league?
How many elite? Dude, you're lucky if there's 4. Maybe 5.
I know you're going to give me Tom Brady, but after Tom Brady, who are you going to give me?
Well, you know what? Can you really put Mahomes on that level the way he's playing right now?
You have to put him on that level. He's been to 2 Super Bowls.
But the past doesn't represent the present.
So right now, how many elite quarterbacks do you think are in the league right now?
There's five elites. My elites.
You know what? You got Brady.
Not in any particular order is Brady.
You
Rodgers,
got to
Wilson.
look. Rodgers sucks because he can't go past the NFC Championship game. 2 out of 3 years he's failed.
Just because he can't pass the NFC Championship game, he's not elite. Okay.
Did you hear me? What was the first thing I said about that sentence?
Rodgers is not.
You
on my
have
list.
to put Rodgers in that list, even though
Someone has an echo.
he hasn't got past the NFC Championship game.
Okay, so you got Brady, Rodgers.
You got Brady. You got Rodgers.
Wilson, Watson, Josh Allen,
I mean, Russell Wilson,
Patrick.
only because we see what's going on right now
Lamar Jackson.
but Geno Smith sucks. I'm sorry. And especially when what happened with him at the Giants, I can't help but not like. But
I don't know how that guy's still in the league.
I don't either. But you know what? When you see Geno Smith back there and you see Russell Wilson, it is apples and oranges. But I mean, just by real quick, just three guys. That's three guys out of the entire population of the United States. That's why I said there's 4, maybe 5 guys in the entire United States that you can classify as elite.
Maybe Matthew.
You
Stafford.
know, and it's so easy to
elite.
say that this guy's elite, this guy's a game changer, this guy's is Rodgers is.
It's easy to tell
Aaron Rodgers is Aaron Rodgers, but you know what? Eli Manning has more rings than he does. Okay? So I'm sorry. In my mind, in my thoughts, when I see something like that, you got to have 2 or 3 titles. Even though Marino only got to 1, Marino has a lot of records. Marino was great during the regular season.
If you have to have titles, then I don't understand that though, because
because now we're going back to my day, because Terry Bradshaw would be considered elite, 4 rings. Okay, Roger Staubach had a couple.
I don't think you have to win a championship to be elite. I think Allen.
Isn't that what the game's played for?
I think Allen Iverson was one of the best basketball players of my time, but he didn't win any titles.
But isn't that what the game's played for?
That's true.
Yeah, but it's a team
well, let me
game.
put it like this: how many quarterbacks in the league that if you had a team and he was your quarterback, you say, "I got a hell of a chance to win, no matter the circumstances."
How much quarter? Say that one more time.
Yeah.
How many quarterbacks in the league you could put on the field and say, "I got a chance to win, no matter what the circumstances are"?
I think you'd have to look at anybody in the top 12.
I can probably say I was gonna say no matter
what
happens,
the circumstances are, I got a chance to win today's game.
Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers,
I'd say the
Wilson,
top 12.
Patrick Mahomes, Watson, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Matthew Stafford.
I can't say that about Allen. I can't say that about Stafford. I can only say that about Brady, Rodgers, Wilson, Watson.
Okay, yeah, to be honest with you, Pat, I'm gonna take Josh Allen, Herbert, and Matthew Stafford and put him in that second tier.
I can't. I don't know. I guess maybe
I need to not see how this guy's a game changer. It's baffling me, Joe. We're usually on one accord.
Your third tier is your Derek Coors and your Cousins and your stuff like that.
Like I said, I just can't help it. I mean, I'm just telling you.
You're one of the very, very few.
I mean,
Deshaun Watson's not
back in
but
here's the thing, Pat. Back in the day, I had the same argument about Warren Moon. Everyone was telling me he was great. He was elite. Everyone told me the same thing about Randall Cunningham. Everyone told me the same thing about Michael Vick. Everybody told me the same thing about Young there, the kid out of Texas A&M, when him and Sanchez were going at it. At USC, Vince Young. Okay, I keep hearing these names that are, this guy's great. This guy's gonna be the next. This guy. Look at the cannon that Jamarcus Russell has. Yeah, Jamarcus Russell would rather eat snack cakes. Okay,
come on now, Joe. Jamarcus Russell nowhere near.
Look, okay, I'm just telling you what I'm always told all the time. I've always been told, no matter what TV show I watch, when it comes to the NFL, these experts get on because that's what they did back in the day. This guy's great. This guy's going to be fantastic. And this guy's going to do this. And you need to listen to me on that. And it's like, no, I'm going to use my own eyeball. I'm going to use this thing I got between my friggin' ears. Okay. And I'm going to look at stats. I'm going to look at play. I'm going to look at teams. I'm going to look at circumstances. I want to look at the whole big picture. And then I'm going to decide whether I think, look, this is just me. What I think about the guy.
So what do you see on film from Deshaun Watson? Yeah, that's what I need to know. When you look at Deshaun Watson, what do you see?
I see a guy that doesn't know how to contain the pocket and let his line block for him, and he gets nervous and will scramble and run. To roll out of the pocket because he thinks he's getting pressured.
So you say he doesn't have real good pocket presence. That's what you're saying.
I don't believe so, no. He's always looking. And he's back and forth in the pocket. He's side to side.
What about those plays where he does what Lamar Jackson does when he's like
you got muted Zion?
Oh yeah.
You know,
Watson, are you serious?
Miz, answer me this question. Answer me this question, Miz.
People will miss him.
When you look at Deshaun Watson,
I love it too, Jeffrey.
When you look at Deshaun Watson play, what do you see?
Oh man, you make a question complicated. I should have stayed outside. I had to walk into this.
Yeah, you did. Because they just
I don't know. What do I see? I see he's an all-around quarterback. He's got he's athletic, obviously. He's smart. I'll tell you that. He's a smart QB. What are you looking for? What do you want me to tell you?
Most of these quarterbacks.
Just tell me.
I'd rather have Jackson. I know you guys were talking about that before. I'd rather have Jackson. If I could have him on the Giant or Watson, I would go with Jackson. Something about Jackson that I love. You know, Pat, we spoke about a few weeks ago.
Yeah, I can give you.
I love how I can give you lightning, bro. He's lightning.
The thing.
I had 1,000 words. Gosh.
Jeffrey, you can't say who is a top 5 quarterback right now.
I'll tell you one thing about Watson. I don't care. I'll say it right here online, man. Watson's being extorted right now. It's total bullshit. The guy did nothing wrong. It's all crap.
Well, that's why he wants to go to Miami, because he's got Bob Kraft as a hookup for the massage parlors over there.
I heard a lot of the women that relationships.
I've never heard of Deshaun Watson take like that. That's just baffling me right now.
Deshaun Watson, you can't say he's a top 5 quarterback right now.
I put
he's
him
a top 10, but not top 5.
Top 4.
Yeah, I might agree with Jeff because we got to see him play again.
Top 4 right now.
I'm saying we haven't seen the guy play this year at all, and we're probably not going to. So. Even though that's unfortunate.
Just for me, I think we've seen enough, Miz. Like I know he didn't win anything, but
I see a different level of quarterback when I watch that guy play.
No, listen.
I'm with you, Pat.
Damn. I got all right. I got she's landing early. I gotta head over to the airport because I thought she was landing in an hour, but they're landing early because of the storm passed. I gotta go pick her up from the airport. She's landing tonight right here at Newark in New Jersey, so it's like half hour away.
All right, Miz. Be
downpouring here, Miz, man. Be careful. We got flash flood warnings.
I kind of missed Staten Island. We had rain in the morning, but it hasn't rained since. So, but
really, it's been pouring here all friggin' day.
Yeah, we'll have to get into this debate again when we have 10 people, so everybody can go to war with each other. Sounds fun.
Yeah, that was great. I love that.
I'll just say that the guy deserves to play again, man.
Right? We see eye to eye on just about everything. But this right here, this hurts.
Dude, he had a good team. Deshaun Watson had a good team for 3 years.
And he made the playoffs all 3 of those years.
Exactly, and then he laid an egg.
He lost to the eventual Super Bowl champion
don't
twice.
Matter. You want to be the man, you beat the man.
Okay.
Isn't that what we're bitching about as Giants?
I'm gonna tell you one
fans?
thing, man.
We
I'd
want
rather not.
championship.
So wait,
Is it-
Joe.
on my
is it
way
the-
out,
Nick
Well,
Foles,
the Giants
rather
will
not.
never
Nick Foles
win
is elite
another
quarterback. He hasn't-
Super Bowl,
wait,
but
Joe.
we have consistent winning seasons. You all are going to be happy?
No, I'm
Joe,
not a
but what
Cowboys
about
fan.
what about Nick Foles? Is he an elite quarterback? He won a Super Bowl.
Nah, he's garbage, bro. Yeah.
I'm just joking, Joel. I'm just
Dude,
Let
joking.
me tell you
okay,
something.
I'm-
I don't.
all
I
right,
don't.
Zion, you're going to be a
It was
wise
It was
ass.
a joke.
I
Trent,
just hope.
Trent Dilfer is better than Deshaun Watson, okay?
Okay,
I'd rather not have
Drew
Watson.
Brees, Aaron Rodgers. He's better than Dan Marino.
Yeah, you got a ring.
Who's that? Who's better
Trent
than?
Dilfer. Ray
Trent
Lewis
Dilfer.
got that ring.
Vince, that's only because I only said that because Zion just
Trent Dilfer got a ring. Trent Dilfer got a ring. Thank you to Ray Lewis. Okay, let's be honest,
there
right?
that's how he got that ring.
That defense might be the second greatest ever behind the
No,
85.
and also thank Gary Collins because I don't think he was drunk playing that game, but he was shit faced when he played Minnesota and put up 41.
Well, I remember that game perfectly.
I do too.
Collins coming out of the tunnel
goddamn.
looking scared to death, like a scarecrow.
Collins
Like,
came out of that. Collins came
guy
out
was
that
scared.
first series, went 3 and out, and I knew the goddamn Giants were in trouble. I says, "Hope this."
I
ain't
knew
good.
they lost when he walked out the tunnel. You looked in his face and he looked terrified, man.
Yeah,
Terrified.
he did. Yes, he did.
I'm not gonna lie, man. That Ravens defense that year was absolutely
Animal.
crazy that year. Woo, that was a defense for your ass that year. Man, they had so many people
Shit.
on that team.
Landed in 15 minutes. I,
mean-
love you guys. I see you later.
All
right, man.
Be safe, bro.
I mean, I see other teams. Okay, like let's put Seattle in there. Okay, you know the fans love winning, and we've been bad for so long that we'll take 1-2 wins out of 7 games right now and be friggin' happy. Okay, and get our hopes up and get them shattered. Well, Seattle's been a pretty good, consistent team for the last 8 years, right? 10 wins, 11 wins. And I go on to their YouTubers and I watch the Seattle guys' YouTube streams, and they're like, well, something's got to change. And I'm thinking to myself, okay, you guys are winning every season. What the hell are you bitching about? And they're bitching about not winning rings. They're bitching
Because they
that,
have
you know
Super
what?
Bowl aspirations, Joe.
Exactly. And they're not getting accomplished. So then they start going, should we fire the head coach? Well, who are we going to bring in? Well, we're a winning franchise. We ought to be able to get somebody with a name to come in here and, fix things, or, Pete Carroll and yada, yada. Okay. So look, there's a difference between being a great quarterback, a winning quarterback, and a championship quarterback.
Okay,
So
I can do that.
looking at things that way, okay, I guess this is basically the best way I can say why I'm not. I don't think Watson's there, is because that's how I look at things. I want a championship quarterback. So, that's what everyone says. I mean, Parcells' best quote. You went out and did it, and nobody else thought you could do it. And you went and did it.
If you put it that way, okay.
I guess that's the best way to explain it, Pat. How my mind is processing fandom, football, players.
And you're entitled to your own opinion too.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, like when I look at the Houston Texans when Deshaun was active, their biggest issue was never really the offense. It was more of the defense. They had an ass defense. Because they would put points on the board. Deshaun Watson, I mean, he just led the league in passing last year with wide receivers that on another team with another quarterback aren't really producing. And honestly, that in itself was insane. I don't see maybe Aaron, maybe Pat, but even then, like I don't know if they would be able to elevate the level of talent that he had around him. I mean, and then you look at the lead that they blew to the Chiefs. I mean, he can't play both sides of the ball. I mean, he played a pretty solid game. But I do understand, at some point, the quarterback does have to put the team on his back. But honestly, I'm gonna be real with you. I think if Deshaun goes to a good situation, or at least if he has a competent head coach, competent offensive line, I think that he could be within that top five conversation, maybe within the next 2-3 years. I don't think right now, especially with the rise of Justin Herbert, which I don't think he's top five, but I think that he's in that top 10 conversation. You got Joe Burrow looking very good right now. I mean, the league is in good hands right now in terms of the quarterback play, but I think that if you can have Deshaun Watson on a better team, I think honestly that makes it even better for the league in a sense. That's just another quarterback that you see him balling out. I mean, because I think we can all agree he's talented.
Watson games, yeah.
Oh, I never said he wasn't talented.
Oh no, yeah, no, I know.
Yo, hey man, if you or Pat or Joel, if any of you guys want to answer Steve's questions, I think I'll answer it. I'll let you guys go.
No,
dip a little bit, but
no,
that's a quick answer. No,
I don't think that Carr's an elite QB, but I think that he's a solid QB. I don't think that he's
very solid, but not elite.
You can win with him. You can absolutely win with him.
He's the perfect game manager quarterback. You give him short throws, let him relax, get him confidence. If he has a run game, he will tear you up, and he proved that against Philly.
I believe him and Daniel Jones are in the same category.
I'm gonna be honest with you, yeah.
Right now, yeah.
Yes.
And it's kind of
I think Derek Carr is having an amazing season, though. I'll give him that. He has 2,000 passing yards. He's doing his thing.
But I also I think Daniel has more potential than Carr does. Only because of the way he led the team last Sunday against Carolina, the way he was taking over. He didn't have a bad pass at all, even with no running game, with no offensive line. Whereas Carr had a pretty good running game. I mean, the Raiders were just pounding that rock. And, I mean, Carr went, 31 of 34? He only had like 3 drop passes.
And Ruggs is looking good, too. I mean,
yes.
That's looking really solid. He's a solid quarterback, but definitely not elite. I don't even think that if you put him in a better situation, he'd be an elite quarterback. But I think that he's a solid quarterback. If
you could win with him.
Yeah, you could win with him. I mean, to be honest,
put the right amount of talent around him, you can get to the Super Bowl with him. If you put the right amount of talent around him.
And I do like what Oakland is putting around him so far. You know what I'm saying? The team that they're building around him is pretty nice.
And I always felt bad for Derek Carr because I always felt that he would try to prove himself to John Gruden, and
yes,
I don't think that John Gruden ever really cared for Derek Carr.
He didn't. He was trying to.
That's sad, dog. Like that's really sad because like that man plays with heart. I mean, he's a leader on that team, and he was pretty solid even back. He almost had an MVP year before he broke his leg. I mean, he was a solid quarterback then with Jack Del Rio. So I mean, I think that they're doing something good over there in Las Vegas. I'm kind of interested to see who's going to be the next head coach over there, though.
Yeah, Del Rio really brought the best out of him.
Yeah, it's man. I saw
Del
something.
Rio was a good coach for him.
I wanted to get y'all's opinion on something. Could y'all see maybe Washington making a play for Jimmy Garoppolo? Maybe not by the trade deadline, but by next year. Because I don't think that, look at the QB draft.
I'll be totally happy if Jimmy Garoppolo with the.
I would too. I
would be ecstatic if they put all the eggs in the basket. Jimmy Garoppolo? I'm with it. Go ahead.
I don't think they have to trade. Isn't this Garoppolo's last year?
Yeah.
This is last year under contract.
He's not going to be in San Francisco next year. That's almost proven. That's
if they grab Jimmy Garoppolo and say we're rolling with Jimmy G, I'll be just as ecstatic as they were when they said they was rolling with
you know what's funny that you brought that up here, man, because I can totally see that happening. That is a Washington move. Not saying he's a bad quarterback, but
Nah, the reason why I brought it up was before I joined on this live, I saw some Giants fans on Twitter clowning a Washington football fan page who did jersey swaps. One was for like Baker Mayfield, the other one was for Jimmy Garoppolo, and he was like, "My wish," and I'm just like, bro, like y'all can trade for Baker Mayfield, y'all can trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, like. I don't give a damn.
Now, see, I see the Philadelphia Eagles going after Garoppolo, and I could see Washington going after Russell Wilson.
And that will never happen because Sierra will never let him go to Washington, D.C.
You know what? I think that this might be the year that Russell Wilson pushes himself out of Seattle after everything that's happened. I could see it.
As long as they don't get no Deshaun Watson,
where he can go.
Chilling, man.
Yeah, that's the one thing I'm scared about. Like,
as long as they don't get Deshaun,
he wants to be here in New York. He wants to be here in New York.
Sierra would do, man. It'd be perfect for Sierra. That's his wife.
Yeah, it'd be perfect for Sierra. Right? That's why he wants
for entertainment. Yeah. It would be better.
Sierra's like, just move to New York. We can be closer.
If we'd done that a couple years ago, I'd be all for it. But
what if the Jets do the whole Arizona thing and they just get rid of Zach Wilson? They don't think he's the one, and they just grab Wilson.
I don't think Wilson's going to go to the Jets.
Well, I don't know. You can't. There's not a quarterback in the draft that I'll do that for Zach Wilson. Who are you going to get?
No,
Wilson?
but like they trade Zach Wilson to Seattle for Wilson.
I don't think Seattle takes that trade.
That'd be horrible. On Seattle,
no,
that'd be
I'm just finding the way that Watson can play for New York because I don't think he'll play for the Giants.
Oh, no problem.
Russell Wilson wants to be in a big market.
What up, Adrian? Mm-hmm. That's why I was seeing a big market come to New York to play for the Jets. That's a market.
I can see him going to somewhere like Minnesota.
Hey, don't be shocked if a team like Philly pop up.
Philly.
I don't think he wants to go to Philly.
Oh my God!
Man. I think at this point, man, I don't know. If Philly got the draft capital, they don't got the cap space. I don't think.
And I'll be honest with you, I wouldn't even care if he went to the Washington football team.
Philadelphia is a mess right now. I've been watching their YouTubers, Joey Shakes, Philly 500. Oh my God, these guys are afraid they're going to lose to the Lions. Like literally, they're afraid. They don't want to even play this game.
They just
afraid you're going to lose to the Lions.
I mean, the Lions, I think, are playing better than Philly is, but for some reason, I don't know why they can't finish, but I can't say
I'll tell you what, they're going to get somebody sooner or later.
Yeah, because they're staying in these games.
Look, they played the Rams tough. They played the Ravens. They lost to a 66-yard field goal. I mean, that's 2 wins right there against some really tough teams they should have had. You know, they played the Rams a hell of a lot better than we did.
They traded Ertz to the Cardinals, and he had a touchdown this past week.
Oh yeah, that's lighting a fire under them too. Mm-hmm. They're like, I'm glad for Ertz, but how come every time we get rid of a guy, the guy goes to another team and balls out? And goes, well, because we suck. Mm-hmm. They're imploding over there.
It's gonna be real tough out there. They lose the line.
Oh yeah, that'd
be funny. I could see the Lions.
Dude, that would make my season. I'm not gonna lie. If they lost to the Lions, the Rage videos, I will tune in for all of them. I'm not gonna lie.
Videos are gonna be bananas. They lose to the Lions, bro.
Oh,
I'm telling you, I'm calling it now. The Lions are gonna get their first win against the Philadelphia Eagles.
Let's get it. Let's get
it. The Lions are gonna get somebody.
There you are.
It's gonna be Philly.
The Lions are not going undefeated. Damn Campbell.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Like, for him.
I usually would never say this, and like high key, I kind of feel crazy what I'm about to say, but I feel confident. I can't see Philly sweep, at least beating the Giants this year. I can't see it. I think the Giants, for the first time in a while, would.
All we gotta do is contain Jalen Hurts, and we win the game. You don't let Jalen Hurts get out that pocket and start making plays, we win the game.
Yeah, Eagles fans don't even see it.
That's a good point.
They're like, the Giants are going to sweep us. The Redskins or the football team's going to sweep us. It's like, yeah, you're right. We're gonna.
That's a good point, Pat brought up. Why are they not utilizing? Why are they not utilizing Miles Sanders or any of their backs?
Yeah,
Miles Sanders just got hurt.
He did, but I never
Yeah.
understood why Sirianni strayed away from the run game. If we're being
Mhm.
honest,
Like, why do they not run the ball?
And they
Period.
force it to Smith. Yeah, exactly.
yeah. And honestly, like I think that he's a solid athlete, Jalen Hurts, but I'm not crazy about his arm. I might get shit for that.
No,
I'm not crazy about his arm.
I'm with you.
I
He's
tried telling people
all year. He's been underthrowing people.
and then people like Bad Dog, he watches Oklahoma football. He's a big Sooners fan. And he watched it when Hurts went to Oklahoma. He's like, this guy sucks. And he does. He's doing everything right now that he did in college. And I watched him do it at Alabama. He'll read one receiver, and then he's like, he panics. He'll pull the ball down and run. Or he'll roll to the right. And he does it every time. I mean, I've seen some really good pockets from the Eagles offensive line, and he just panics and rolls out to the right and then creates angles for the defensive lineman to go tackle him. He's got a 50% completion ratage. He doesn't like to throw into tight windows.
What I do like about him, Joel, he does have heart, and he can put a team on his shoulders because you've seen him in games like really running the ball
No,
and
he
really
can't.
trying to motivate the team like Lamar
No, he
Jackson
can't.
does. But yeah, you can't put your team obviously if you can't throw. But that's one thing I would give him. I give him heart. He does show that he wants to
He
win,
does have heart, but
he does
the
have heart,
reason he
yeah.
got benched in Clemson for Tua is because Clemson knew he could not throw the ball. So all they had to do is have a coverage guy close to the
Yeah,
receiver.
if they didn't bench Jalen Hurts that game, they were gonna get blown out.
They were going to lose because Tua could throw the
you talking
ball.
about the game they pulled him out? Tua came in the fourth and third and won the game.
Yeah,
But he did his
Yeah.
thing. He did his thing at Oklahoma, though. Not
Yeah.
gonna lie to you.
Well, I mean, Oklahoma had track stars. Come on. I mean, so did Alabama, but I mean, that's a completely different conference.
Now it kind of makes me wonder, like, is it? I mean, I think it's both the coaching and the player in itself. But do you think it's more on the coaching? Do you think maybe they're not playing to his strengths, or do you think it's more Jalen Hurts?
I think he's a quarterback you have to have a good run game with, and they don't run the ball at all. So
Which doesn't make no
handicaps him a little bit.
sense. Like the dude got legs. I'm gonna give him that. He's athletic, and like you said, if the Giants can contain him, no problem, Sam, none. But if he can't, he's gonna run all over us. I mean, and that's what we don't need.
Right.
I mean, we see what Daniel Jones does to opposing defenses. I'm just saying, we don't need that right now. But I don't think he doesn't put any fear in my eyes. He really does not. He doesn't put any fear in my eyes. I'm not crazy about his arm. Like I said, it makes me wonder.
You don't
what they're
leave people. You play tight covers. Don't leave people wide open. He's probably gonna make one or two good passes throughout the game. But other than that, you keep him in that pocket, you straight.
Yeah, he does a lot of dinking and dunking as well.
Yep.
Yep.
So
you
it's
stop
like-
their screen game and you stop him from scrambling, they're gonna have a tough time beating you
He doesn't have an accurate deep ball.
at all.
I'm not a
He
fan.
panics. You know, it's just
He has a lot to learn, but he's young. He's young.
I hate like hell talking bad about anybody, but I'm just
That's why I
telling
said
you
he's
what I
young.
saw in college, man. I mean, even the experts said he was a 4th round pick, and Eagles grabbed him in the 2nd.
I thought that was honestly, man.
Hey, thanks
I
for
mean,
joining, Steve. I appreciate
I
it.
wouldn't have picked him in the 2nd round.
No, I wouldn't have either.
And I didn't even think
Hey,
that Carson
Zion,
Wentz
I
was
gotta
the
head out
issue.
real quick, bro. But
All right, Pat.
next time, every time you go on, just send me the link. You know I'm gonna show it, man. You always show it
Will
for me,
do.
bro.
Will
This
do. I
squad, good
appreciate
seeing you,
that.
bro.
Thanks, bro.
Me too,
Joe, we're gonna have to talk about this Deshaun Watson thing.
All right.
Make sure you
All
guys look
right.
some up
I'll
to
see you
Pat
Thursday
Falcon
night,
Sport.
Pat.
Okay.
Pat
My
Sport
channel.
Talk.
All right.
Let's get it.
Man. So let me ask y'all, because I came in a little late and I didn't get to hear what your thoughts were. What are your thoughts on our chances against the Chiefs this upcoming Monday? Because I'm gonna be real with you, I like our chances. I can't hold you. Even with
It's
Patrick
funny
Mahomes
because
in there.
both me and Joel kind of are like similar. You know, we don't think we're gonna go out there and get smashed. I think it is. I'm like Joel is like probably like 40% that we can win this
I
game.
said 30.
But
Yeah.
I'm still heavenly. Yeah, he said 30. I'm still heavenly respecting the Chiefs for who they are. But at the end of the game, at the end of the day, the defense been struggling. The offensive line been struggling. Even
Yes.
if Mahomes is in there, Mahomes been struggling. So it's a team based on this team. I hate it sometimes because we're so like night and day. We come out and we get smashed and we think it's the end of the world, and then we go put on a performance like this, and then it's like, God damn it! If you come out like that on defense, we actually have a chance. But right now, I just don't think this team is matured enough to beat a team like the Chiefs. I think we're going to be in the game. We're going to be fighting hard, but I think the Chiefs still find a way to get it done and win by at least 7-3. I don't think it's going to be a full outright victory for the Chiefs. I think we're going to be competitive, but at that, I wouldn't be surprised if this defense showed up and we get maybe Galladay back, a receiver back, and we come out and we win by 3. But at this point, I just have to see what this defense is, how this defense is going to show up, and that's the scary part for all of us. Is like, what defense are we going to get? You know.
Well, here's the thing, Zion. If we can get a couple of turnovers and get like 10 points off the turnovers, that's going to be a huge difference. Thank you, Adrian. I appreciate that. I think the turnovers is going to be, and putting points on the board, and then going down on our drives when they have to punt or whatever. We got to put points on the board and not 3. We need touchdowns. We need to really work the end zone. Hopefully this week. I mean, these guys have made so many mistakes in the red zone and then trying to get a half a yard. I mean, I hope the guys watched that first drive and looked at that film, because if you watch that first drive, Nate Solder misses the guy completely, does a belly flop, and Hernandez winds up on his ass, and that's how the guys got blown up, and that's why we didn't get it into the end zone on that 4th and 1. Look, I mean, the offensive line's what we have, but I keep saying it again and again. The offensive line's not giving up 40 points a game. We are putting points on the board. We are moving the ball, but then we get the stupid false start, holding, an eligible man downfield. And you know what? I can accept that one. And the reason I say that is because we run the friggin' RPO so much.
Down the field.
Well, when you run the RPO a lot, Zion, I mean, it kind of confuses the linemen every now and then. And we've got really young, inexperienced linemen that, might have run the RPO in high school or maybe a couple of times in college, but not like what they're trying to do right now.
Still learning.
So that's the first time we've actually seen that, an eligible man downfield. Pertson at left tackle, not at right tackle. He's only played a couple games this year. He doesn't have a lot of experience this year. Judge really hasn't been rotating the offensive lineman in there like he did last year. For some ungodly reason, he just wants to keep Solder on the right side. And this whole fan base just cannot understand why.
I don't get it, man.
I don't either.
You know what you have in Solder too, so it doesn't make any sense to me.
That's what's got Judge on my crap list, okay? Because he said, I'm going to play the best player available that gives us the best chance to win. But we sure as hell know that's not Solder.
But you know what? I got to tell y'all something. Like, looking at, and I went back and I watched that Titans and Chiefs game. I don't think the level of talent that the Titans have on that defensive line matches what we have on the defensive line. They was getting after Patrick Mahomes, man.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay, I'm not saying that Carolina has a better line than the Chiefs, but we were terrorizing that offensive line. I think the game against Carolina was the first game defensively where I said, okay, this reminds me of last year when we was getting to the quarterback, different ways getting to the quarterback. So, I mean, it's probably blind faith. I tend to definitely have that a lot with this team, and then I get let down. So my blind faith, I guess, would just be, I think that this is definitely the game where this defense gets it clicking. I know it's a little hard with Jabril Peppers being out now for the year, but I think that's just going to be more time for Julian Love. And honestly, I like Julian Love. and hopefully it plays like Aaron Robinson, who I see some Giants YouTubers say that that's going to be the player to either take James Bradbury's spot or Jabril Peppers' spot. I don't really know. I liked him. I mean, he played at UCF, which is 10 minutes from where I live. He's a solid kid. But I think that this is and looking at their defense too, the Chiefs got a pretty bad defense, man. I think right now they're either 31st or 32nd, but it's a bad defense. And if you're telling me, and honestly, we don't know. We really don't. But if there's even a chance that Kadarius Toney or Sterling Shepard plays, man, I like our chances. I really do.
I like that point too, because if there's any time to take advantage of the Chiefs, it's now. It's Patrick Mahomes coming off of bad concussion. Hopefully he plays. I don't want to be. Obviously, I'm a Giants fan saying hopefully Patrick Mahomes plays, but I want to come out there and if you beat the Chiefs,
I want my best against your best.
Exactly.
Yes.
And like I feel for the guy too. He's a human, and concussions, they're bad. You know what I'm saying? You can have headaches, severe headaches the day after, and it can get bad. But anyhow, hopefully he heals good, and even if he doesn't play, but just based on what you said, with the offensive line and the defense problems, if this is a team to take advantage of and a team to beat, the time to beat the Chiefs, it's now. And they're heading that way. It looks like we're heading this way. You know what I'm saying? Like it looks like this
heading that way.
Hopefully, right? We've been like that recently, but hopefully we can take what we gathered in Carolina and whatever we found on defense, whatever they came up with, whatever path they made to themselves before the game. Hopefully they can come out and they can show it. And I think they will in a sense of they know that they know who the Chiefs were, and they're going to want to prove a point as well. I'll talk about defensive players.
Yeah, but I think, Zion, that these guys know that this is the game that could really make a statement for the season.
Absolutely.
I'm sure Judge is pushing that. Like, look, guys, you had a really good win last week. Look who we're going against this week. You guys really want to make a statement to your fans? You really want to make a statement to ownership? You really want to show us what you really have? We need to step up more.
And on that, Joel, perfect point. Because of the fact that we have your clear teams like with only one loss, and then you got the Cardinals on top. If you look at everybody else, we win the game, we're right there in the mix.
Yes, we are
literally right there in the mix, and that's huge from starting how we started. So I think that's a good message to preach. Not only is this the Chiefs, but we win just one game, we're in the mix again. And if it is the Chiefs, that makes me so much comfortable going forward,
Right. And, I said in the video I put out, I was like, look, I mean, there are a lot of teams that start out 1-5, 2-4.
What up, Nick?
But they always go on that 6-7 game run. And then all of a sudden they're in a playoff. Why can't we do that? We're going to start getting healthy. We just got to somehow go 1-1 these next two games.
Yeah, I mean, and honestly, like, we don't really know what we're getting with the Raiders either, as much as I think, and I was just talking about the Raiders. I think they're solid. I think they're building something good over there. But at the same time, it's not like they're a team that can't be stopped. I don't know what the hell that was, but
I knew that was going to happen, so I just was holding the remove.
Oh, okay. They're not a team that can't not be beat. The Chiefs, they're still the Chiefs, and when you look at it from the Chiefs' perspective, they're on I don't know how many games of a losing streak they're on at the moment, but they're probably looking to bounce back, and try to at least be somewhat competitive in their division. But looking at the way that they're playing, man, I mean, like I said, the offensive line is atrocious. I don't think it's the league's figured out Patrick Mahomes. I don't think that's it at all. I just think that they're not giving him the chance to make opportunities. And I don't necessarily feel bad for the Chiefs because we as Giants fans, that's been our story the last decade. It's kind of like join the club. Like
right.
Welcome to the rest of the NFL. Like you got to make it work. So I think if there's a defensive coordinator that could confuse a quarterback, it would be Patrick Graham. We saw this defense confuse Russell Wilson, who let's be real, that's an elite quarterback right there. Not many defenses can really fool Russell Wilson. Not saying he's Tom Brady, but in that conversation he's seen everything. For the
Right.
most part, he's seen every kind of defense you could throw at him, and we was able to confuse Russell Wilson. Now, obviously, the defense hasn't been playing too well, but I think the defense has been playing a little bit better. We saw it in Carolina. Take out the Rams game. I think that at that point, man, I mean, what can you do? Like, what can you do when you're down by that much? I can't fault them. I hate it, but I can't fault them. But I thought there was moments against Dallas where the defense looked okay. And I think also looking at how the defense played last year, the first half of the season, they were pretty bad. And then they got things together. I think we saw that in the Rams game. They were able to get things together. So who's to say that that wasn't the Carolina game, where this defense is like, okay, like, like we got something here. Honestly, they need to play Quincy Roche more on the opposite side of Azeez Ojulari.
Yes.
O'Shea and Lorenzo Carter are not getting it done. I don't think they're on this roster come next season. So why not see what you got in your young rookies? And Quincy Roche was getting back there, man. And I think that they're going to see that on the tape. And what I'm actually really excited about is when I went back and watched that Chiefs game, their biggest issue on that line is the interior. So you already know what I'm thinking. I'm thinking Dexter Lawrence. I'm thinking Leonard Williams. Really Leonard Williams, because Dexter Lawrence has been kind of quiet this year. But why can't, like you said, Joe, why can't this be the team that goes out there and goes on the street?
Right.
I mean, outside of Tampa, which looking at their defense, I mean, I respect the hell out of that defense, but their secondary is very questionable.
Yes.
And by that time, you should have Andrew Thomas back.
Sorry to interrupt. If you keep on coming back, even though you changed your name, I'm not going to let you on. You can come back as much times as you want to. You're not going to let on. So I'm not going to let you on this stream. I'm sorry about it. Get a life. Thank you. You can continue, Hitman.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
This
Yeah,
guy
I
keeps
saw
trying
that.
to come on. I'm like, no, bro. You can change your name. I know that's still you.
Hey, man. I mean,
You know,
just
they
might have
like
to
to
try.
come on and put that X-rated images up and all that racist stuff. These bots.
Shit.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. They like to come
Yeah.
on with no picture, and then they'll change pictures for you get like a XXX thing on your channel real fast. And if I watch, I'm happy nobody came on this stream, but sometimes we have people in the comments putting all racist stuff and stuff like that.
And
so,
now he's just spamming.
yeah.
I mean, whatever, dog.
But it's all good. Continue. Sorry.
Yeah,
to interrupt.
no, all I was gonna no, you're good, dog. No worries. All I was gonna say was I agree with Joe. Why can't this be a team that goes out there and gets those wins and goes on that streak? I mean, because you look at the last two remaining games, right? We got the Chiefs, and then we got the Raiders, and then we have the bye, and then we have Tampa afterwards. At that point, I'm expecting Galladay to be back. I'm expecting Shepard to be back, Slayton to be back. Well, he's already back, but Slayton to be a little bit healthier. Kadarius Toney. So you're having some players back, and if you're telling me that we're gonna have Andrew Thomas on that line, Kadarius Toney on that field, I like our chances just off of them two alone. Because I think that when Andrew Thomas is on the field, Daniel Jones just plays at a better level, and he's playing pretty good with what he has right now. And
I think you're exactly right on that. And Andrew Thomas on the field, Daniel Jones' game goes up a lot just based on the fact of the matter is, I think he a quarterback when you trust the people you have in front of you, you can play the game at ease, right? I think I like the fact that our guys are not out there. I like the fact that our guys are out there showing effort right now. I wish Nate would show a little bit more effort, but I don't think he's capable of that this late in the season. But get him out and replace him and talking about Carter and Xavier, like not Xavier, I'm sorry, X-Man. It's like I want to see these rookies come in too, because of the fact that that Lorenzo Carter and X-Man's not going to make the roster next year. Shouldn't be just the fact on there hasn't been executed since we got them. They haven't been playing to the statue we held them, man, and we didn't even held them to that high of a statue, but they still didn't meet that expectations. And I think Andrew Thomas is just He's gonna be good. He's gonna be really good in this league, and you can just tell it already. You know what I'm saying? Like Andrew
Right.
Thomas is gonna be really good for a long time, and we're hoping that he's gonna be with us. I'll let you continue though. Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
Hell yeah. I'm actually gonna say I'm probably gonna shut it down, guys, because we've been going for like 3 hours. But
Oh
Hit,
my
man,
God.
I just followed you not too long ago. I just subscribed to you, so I gotta get on one of your live streams, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much for
sure.
showing up on mine. But
Yeah,
please,
of course,
guys, go
man.
check out
Yes.
Classified. Go check out Hitman. Please, I'll give you guys 2 minutes to plug a show coming up, or anything you guys want to plug. Your Instagram, your channel. Let's get it, Joe. You can start it.
Man, I just like to have fun, man. Classified food, family fun, football, fishing, you name it. I like to do it more than likely. I will be calling the game Thursday night, Cardinals and Packers on my channel. So stop by and
Hell yeah.
we'll have a good night, good time, talk some football, bitch about the Giants some more.
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
I'll definitely be there, Joe. I mean,
All
hell
right.
yeah. What's it called? Yeah, with me, man. I mean, I'm just a huge fan of the Giants. I mean, I'm also a Brooklyn Nets fan, but I'm a huge fan of the New York Giants. I think that we're a talented team, man. I think we just got to get a couple things fixed. I think that obviously we need some help on this line, we don't even know what we got in Isaiah Wilson just yet. You never know. I'm not saying he's gonna be that guy, but you never know. You guys can sub to my channel. I know Sunday. Thank you, Sunday.
Yeah,
Sunday
thank you,
put
Sunday.
my info in there. I appreciate it. And then if y'all go there, you can actually find the rest of my social media stuff. So
Let's get it.
boom.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you, Sunday. Thank you to all the mods that held it down throughout the chat. Thank you for all the people who came on that was previously on, and thank you for you guys for watching. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I would still do this, but I really thank you guys because it makes me doing this a lot more easier than
It'd
not
be a
talking,
lot
just
shorter,
talking to
right?
myself.
Yeah.
Exactly. So the
Oh,
fact
yeah.
that we can make it 3 hours, it really means a lot to me because I haven't been on YouTube for that long. And please go check out Classified. He does a lot of cooking channels, cooking things, barbecuing, some good time at the family. And please go check out Hitman, Hit Squad Productions. My bad, not Hitman, Hit Squad Productions.
good.
He does all, he good knowledge. And I'm sorry I have to run. I wanted to stay and talk to you a little bit more, Hit Squad, but we can always reconnect another time.
Yeah,
Right.
Giants for life. Let's
For
get
sure.
it.
Y'all boys be safe.
Hey, you too,
Yeah.
bud.